God bless Brother Smoke. All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to the mighty Alahym in the name of Yahweh. John chapter 5 and verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Alahym only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom, Amun. God bless, Brother Smoke. Revelation 14 and 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion with 144,000, having his Abba's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from Shamayim as the voice of many waters, and as a voice of great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung it was a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which are not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever ye go, for they were redeemed from the earth. The first fruits unto Alahym and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no fault. No God, for they were without fault before the throne of Alahym. Now, of course, shalom, Brother Margaret, man. Amen, man. Now, these people are arguing about this song, which, of course, that song can't be discussed. That song in verse 3, you know why that song can't be discussed? Because unless you part of 144, you ain't going to know it. So that ain't even something that we even going to spend time conversating on, because it can't be conversated on. But what we can do is to go back to rehash a particular aspect about them first fruits. What's good, East man? What we've been discussing, to reiterate that, because this is going to be the conclusion of this matter. Like I told you, this is not a long, drawn-out matter. You know what I'm talking about? So, Civic, just go ahead and read verse 4 one more time in Revelation 14, and then get 1 Corinthians 15 and 15, and we're going to let it go from there.
So these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb wheresoever he go. These were redeemed from among men, the first fruits on the Alahym into the land.
Notice he said these are redeemed among men and the first fruits. Let me deal with the redeemed part. Let's deal with that part first. Let's go to Isaiah 52 and 3. Let's deal with that part first. That's when you get your kinsman redeemer stuff all involved. See, there was a gentleman over there talking earlier, man. These dudes want to be like, prove your God exists and all this type of stuff, man. What's good, though? And I had to ask this man, if you don't believe in God, why are you talking to people who do? Like, why do you invest in time in something that you don't like? Or something you don't believe in? You know what this man told me, man? Because y'all vote. I said, yeah, that's how I know you an imbecilic idiot. You know what I'm saying? Now, why would he dealing with the word? Why would he say his concern is y'all vote? Why would you think that would be what he would say? I'll tell you why, if you don't know why. He said the reason why he's concerned with people who are in the word is because they vote. See, I knew from that statement, I was able to ascertain, at least from my mind, that he's thinking from an evangelical Christian standpoint, thinking that people who deal with the word vote and therefore influence public policy and things of that sort. This also lets me know that this man does not live in any framework of reality, because no voting whatsoever has any bearing on any public policy anywhere in the United States of America, much less the world. If you think that the quote-unquote Christian thought influences public policy, oh, you're greatly deceived. Shalom, Quran, you approved, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, that's insane. Then he said something else. I can't recall what that was. But it's like you got individuals, man, they want you to prove you who exists. And, you know, and people were steady going back and forth with a shalom, Mr. Hud, man. You know what I'm saying? And I told him straight like this. I said, well, guess what? on the last day when you standing before that throne, you gonna meet him right before he stick his foot straight up your behind and you go burn in hell. You know what I'm talking about? And I meant that. But let's look at this here. Isaiah 52:3.
So thus saith Yahuwah, you have sold yourselves for nothing, you shall be redeemed without money.
Shall redeem with him anyway. I know y'all know what it means, but it's okay.
That's the all to redeem, to act as a kinsman redeemer, to avenge, to revenge, to ransom.
To act to what? To what? To ransom. Now, of course, y'all know from Matthew 20, he said he didn't come to be served, but to serve and to make his life a what? A ransom for many. So these men who were redeemed from the earth are men who he's offered himself for. See, that's another insight. So another shalom, brother Marvin, man. It's another insight to what you know what their gender is, because you don't see a woman in your law is forth as being redeemed from the kinsman redeemer, Leviticus 25. Now, do you? Not to say that a woman can't be redeemed. What I'm saying is, it's not. You don't see that. I'm gonna just be honest with you. If you haven't already figured this out, mass majority, I would say 98% of the things that you see in the law are directly straight towards men. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about straight towards men. When he say teach your household, he's talking to the men. When he telling you, hey, there's a reason why it don't say if a woman lay with a woman. You know what I'm talking about? Because he talking to the men. He talking to them. Like I'm talking to you first. And what does that set the standard for? Because who did Yahuwah talk to first? Adam. And before that, who did he talk to first? Mashiach, his son. By whatever. See, this is here go the thing. Let's just look at it like this here, right? We look at the Son of God being Yahuwah, and then manifested himself in the flesh as Yahushua. But what his name could have been in heaven, his name may have not been Yahuwah in heaven. You know what I'm talking about? We talking about before the earth was made. You know what I'm talking about? Then you have to look at it. He tell you he gonna give you another name when he come back here. It won't be Yahushua when you see him. You know, I told y'all last night talking to a dude, and that dude was like, God don't want to come to dwell with you funky niggas. I say, so you believe you gonna go? Well, this is the crazy part. It's hard to fathom for you to believe that he would come here to dwell with you, but you'll go dwell with him. Now, what was funny as we were conversing last night on this particular matter is, man is unclean. Man cannot. Give me Hebrews 12, man. Verse 21. Verse 21 is fine. Shalom, Amos Roman.
Just chill, man, brother. Chill, man, brother.
And so terrible was the sight that Moses said, I exceedingly feared and quaked. But you are come unto Mount Zion and unto the city of the living Alahym, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of Malachim, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in Shamahim, and to Alahym, the judge of all, and to the ruachs of just men made perfect, and to Yahushua, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speak better things than of Abel.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you refuse not him that speaks, for if they escape not who refuse him that spake on earth, much more if we turn away from him from Shamahim, whose voice then shook the earth, but now he hath promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also Shamahim.
Mm-hmm.
And this yet once more signifies the removing of those things that are shaken, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved. Let us have mercy, whereby we may serve Alahym acceptably with reverence and godly fear.
What type of God he is?
For our Alahym a consuming fire.
Now, this in your law. Your God is a consuming fire. What did that mean? Habakkuk chapter 1 and 1. It'd be amazing to me with certain concepts that people don't understand. But yet they study the word all day long. Habakkuk 1 and 1. Don Joanne.
The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see, O Yahuwah, how long shall I cry, and you will not hear? Cry out unto you of violence, and you will not save.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance?
Mm-hmm.
For spoiling and violence before me, and there are they raise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment do never go forth.
Mm-hmm.
For the wicked do compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeds. Behold, you among the heathen in regard, and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days. You will not believe, though it be told. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess a dwelling place is not theirs.
Mm-hmm.
They terrible and dreadful, their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves.
You keep on going. I got to read too much. I ain't gonna hurt anybody.
Their horses also are swifter than the leopards and are more fierce than the evening wolves. Their horsemen shall spread themselves. Their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hastes to eat. They shall come.
Let's go to verse 12. I got to read too much.
Are you not from everlasting, O Yahuwah, my Alahym, my Kadash one?
We shall not what?
Die,
Oh, Yahuwah what?
You have ordained them for judgment.
What else?
And Almighty Alahym, you have established them for correction.
Listen.
Of purer eyes than to behold evil.
Your eyes are what?
Purer than to behold evil.
You can't look on what?
Iniquity.
When you look upon
them that dwell treacherously, hold your tongue when the wicked devour.
Listen.
More righteous than he.
This man can't look on iniquity. And you think that's going to come dwell with him? You out your rabbit mind. You know what I'm talking about? You out your rabbit mind. Now let's take a look at something else. Matthew chapter 20, man. What I want? 20, it ain't, I don't think it's 28. Let me see. I don't think it's 28. It's actually 22. I did that every time. It's Matthew 22, man, to 28.
Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the seven? For they all had her. Yahushua answered and said unto them, you do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Alahym. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage.
They're neither what?
They neither marry nor are given in marriage.
For the resurrection, they neither what?
They neither marry nor are given in marriage.
But what they like?
But are as the Malachim of Alahym and Shamahim.
Now that's when you're going to have to pause. Now he said they like the angels in heaven. See, some people get on that, so I ain't going to know my wife. I ain't going to know. If the only thing you worry about is knowing your spouse, you something wrong with you. I'm dead serious. You carnal. There's something wrong with you. Not I'm dwelling with God, not that I'm living forever, but can I recognize my husband? Can I recognize I wouldn't give a damn if I ain't never recognized you again in life. I ain't in hell. That's good enough for me. Am I going to recognize my kid? Why would you care? Now, I'm not saying that you wouldn't. I'm saying, why do you care? You think you finna be in heaven reminiscing about your 20 years of marriage? Because if you think that's what it's going to be, it's something wrong with you on top of that. I ain't going to call you stupid. I'm going to say it's something wrong with you. Meaning, you worry about the wrong thing. You worry about the wrong thing. You focused on the wrong thing. What you think you're going to be? That's my husband. Ain't nobody finna be with him. Ain't nobody finna be with you. Ain't nothing going on. Ain't no dates. Ain't no none of that goofy junk you thinking about. I guess they think they finna be, this man finna come down here and dwell with us and you finna keep living like you've been living. No, you finna be worshiping this man day and night. I hope you know that. You're going to be worshiping this man day and night. You're going to be living just like the host of heaven is living right now. See, if that don't appeal to you, it might not be what you want to do. Like a dude told somebody today, hey man, if you want to be born in Atlanta and die and go to hell, then go ahead and go. It ain't none of my business. But just know, if you're going to be in the kingdom of heaven, well, you finna be like the heavenly host. You finna be worshiping this man. Not to there go my husband. Let me go over there with him. Guess what? If your husband's Zebulon and you ask him, you ain't going nowhere with him. You going through your gate, he going through his. You know what I'm talking about? Get caught going through the wrong gate, see what happened to you. Because you talking about, I want to follow him. You finna follow the hell and get you out of here. You a rule breaker. You want to look at, they go my grandbabies. Worry about them grandbabies. What if you had to toss your grandchildren in the lake? What you gonna do then? You wasn't ready for that, was you? I tossed they funky behind right on in there. Kids and all. Get him on out of here. He gotta go. He gotta go. I tossed you in there first. Ain't that what your law say? You supposed to be the first one to hit him? Y'all niggas ain't gonna stone them children. I went through 17 hours of labor with that boy. I love him. That's my son. What's a lot of niggas ain't gonna toss their wife in there? Toss her right on in there. I'm talking about like this here overhead press too. Ah! Go you right on in there. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna feel no way about it. I don't be like, I love her so much. She ain't love you, Lord. Let kill her. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, that cold blooded. Rather better you than me. Boy, if you talking about being in eternal damnation, talking about you live forever, or you go to hell with your wife, my wife going by herself. My kids going by themselves. My friends going by themselves. My family members going by themselves. I can't take that trip with you. You made that decision. You live with it. That's how you. Michael said, you better go to hell with me. Silver say, hell no, I'm jumping out the car. You gonna jump out the car? If he just drive the car into the wall, headed towards the wall, and said, we live together, we die together, you jumping out? You ain't gonna jump out. You gonna be too scared. Damn, you know that? He said that's news to him. That didn't say that's all. He said that's USA Today. You just might want to see what you're gonna do, man. See if you're scared. You ain't gonna jump out. That car going by 70, nigga ain't jumping out. Cause you gonna die on the jump out.
I'm about to tell you that. Either way, you hitting that wall.
Yeah, you got a better chance putting the seatbelt on and hoping that the airbag do his job. Cause you got to know how to tuck and roll. I don't know how to tuck and roll. What, you finna grab the wheel? Oh, say y'all definitely dying because he said you can't drive. Nigga, you from New York, nigga, you can't drive. Niggas from New York don't even know how to drive. Y'all don't even got cars. You don't drive them? How y'all got all them down? That's amazing too. Y'all niggas don't drive in y'all cities thing. How that work? But how often did they drive? How else y'all niggas get there? Y'all catch cabs and ride the subway and ride the bus. And where he parked it at?
On the street.
When you got
street parking.
When you got your driver's license? Yeah, because you niggas don't drive. Come on, man. Yeah. See?
Matthew 22.
Come on. Read 28 again. Shalom, Brother Robert, man.
It says, therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the seven? For they all had her. Yahushua answered and said unto them, you do err, not knowing the scripture nor the power of Alahym.
Paul, listen. So, if you like the angels in heaven, what are the angels like? What is it? Psalms 104 and 4?
Said, who make his Malachims, Ruachs, his ministers of flaming fire.
Pause. Why did he say flaming fire? Let's take it a step further. Let's go to Matthew chapter 3, verse 13.
Then come Yahushua from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be immersed of him. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be immersed of you, and come you to me. Yahushua answering said unto him, suffer it now, for thus it become us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him. And Yahushua, when he was immersed, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, Shamahim was opened unto him, and he saw the Ruach of Alahym descending like a dove and lighting upon him. And lo, a voice from Shamahim saying, this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased.
Well pleased. Go ahead.
That's under that.
Oh, chapter 4. That doesn't sound. That's my bad. Back it up to about verse 5. I need back there trying to hide. We seen you walking here. Whoa.
He said what?
Whoa. I don't know nothing about no Saks. I got family around Sacramento, but Saks town? What type of stuff? Where you been traveling at? Oh, I don't know about that. It's amazing. Come on, man.
Say, then went out to him Jerusalem and all Judea and all the region round about Jordan, and were immersed of him in Jordan, confessing their sins. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his immersion, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who has warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
Bring forth what?
fruits meet for repentance.
Okay.
And think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to father. For I say unto you that Alahym is able to raise up of these stones to raise up sons unto Abraham.
What else?
And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree.
There we go.
Therefore every tree which bring not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Come on.
I need indeed immerse you with water unto repentance.
But there come one that what?
After me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear.
What happened?
He shall immerse you with the Ruach HaKodesh, with fire.
And with who?
With fire.
Uh-oh. And with who?
And with fire.
What else?
Whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor.
Now, we focusing on the fire for a reason. Not that you would be contained with fire, if you would, but you would be contained with the Ruach of Alahym, because you would be like the Malachim and Shamahim. You understand? Now, with that being said, in Acts chapter 2, verse 1, how is the Ruach described? We're about to see if you don't know. Jeremiah James Bird. You don't look like you're paying attention. Does this not interest you?
It said, when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from Shamahim as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as a fire.
Cloven tongues like as a who?
As a fire. And it sat upon each of them.
Paul, why is it like a fire? Why are we just not word matching? We're trying to give you an illustration of why he's constantly referred to as a fire repeatedly. You understand? Jeremiah 23, verse 15. Don Joanne.
So therefore, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts concerning the prophets, behold, I will feed them with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness going forth into all the land. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They may make you vain.
They make you worthless.
They speak a vision of their own heart.
They speak in their own words.
And not out of the mouth of Yahuwah.
God ain't talked to them.
They say still unto them that despise me, Yahuwah hath said, you shall have shalom. And they say unto everyone that walk after the imagination of their own heart, no evil shall come upon you. For who have stood in the counsel of Yahuwah and have perceived and heard his word, who have marked his word and heard. Behold, a whirlwind of Yahuwah is gone in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of Yahuwah shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days you shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied.
Why are you talking?
But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings.
We're going to read too much, man. Come on, Ryan, straight to verse 29.
It's not my word like as a fire.
It's not my word like as a what?
Like as a fire.
As a what?
Like as a fire.
And what do it do?
Say if Yahuwah like a hammer, break the rock in pieces.
Notice that he described his word as a fire. He described his angels as flaming fire. He say that he's a consuming fire. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 1. And I'm going to get you straight to the point, man. Ezekiel 1:26.
And above the firmament over their heads, the likeness of a throne as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the likeness of the throne, the likeness as the appearance of a man above.
You know what's funny? The brother was mentioning this chapter today, and he described. It's funny that dudes look at this and don't. I think Yahuwah. I ain't even being funny. A lot of people look at this and be utterly confused. And all it's literally describing is the host in heaven and the return of the Lord. That's literally what he let him see. This is what people don't realize, how the book of Ezekiel wrote. He starts with letting them see the coming of the Lord and ends with New Jerusalem. Everything else is in between is just what he experienced in his life, except if you want to talk about chapters 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. You know what I'm saying? Now that's something totally different. But you're talking about chapters 2 through 34. That's all his life and things that he witnessed. Because you know 35 is the beast. You know what I'm talking about? 36 is him telling you I'm coming through to snag y'all, and y'all been blaspheming my name. 37, the resurrection of the dead. 38 about what's happened when you dwelling in the land safely. But Gog and Magog on some other stuff. 39 is the destruction of Gog and Magog. 42, 48 is New Jerusalem. But when you see, and I say this for a reason, and that's not to mock them dudes. It's just hearing them saying like he using this ambiguous book. But by the grace of Yahuwah, y'all look at that, and the only thing you're going to see is, oh, that's the coming of the Lord. And it's quite plain. And again, read 26 and look how plain it is. Matter of fact, read 24. And I'm only going to go with 24 because we just read in Revelation 14, it said his voice is like the sound of many waters. And Ezekiel is getting this same verbiage. Indeed, Amuna, that's what we get into.
And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of a host. When they stood, they let down their wings.
He said, I heard the voice of an army and the voice of the Almighty like great water. Now, any one of you who done been at a beach at high tide and them waves is crashing, you know the sound that those waves make are very loud. You know what I'm talking about? Now, he said great water, so that means this is like waters multiplied. This is how powerful this man's voice is. That's why it'd be so possible that when he say he come with a great shout, that it would be enough to wake a man up out of his grave. That's how strong his voice is. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead, man.
And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood and had let down their wings. And above the firmament over their heads, the likeness of a throne.
The likeness of a who?
Of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone.
And upon the likeness of what?
Of the throne, the likeness has the appearance of a man above.
Now, of course, pause, and I'm just doing this here to make sure that y'all can remember. That sapphire stone, where's that at in your law? I'm not trying to say too much to get it away. Where is that in your law? The sapphire stone. Going once? Not in that one. I think it is a sapphire on the breastplate, though. I believe it is, but not in this instance. That's not the answer we're looking for. But if my memory serves me correctly, I believe the sapphire stone is. No, just the framework. If you know what relates to the sapphire stone, that's good enough. No, I believe it's a sapphire stone on the breastplate, but not in this instance.
Two things.
Yeah, Mika said the same. That's the Urim and the Thummim, and those weren't stones. Give me Exodus 24 with haste. Tell me what 24 and 6 say. I see what you would think about the ephod. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's jewels in there. So I know your mind would go to this here. You're going to hear it, and you're going to be like, damn, I forgot about this. Exodus 24 and 6. Tell me what that says.
And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that Yahuwah have said we will do and be obedient. Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahuwah have made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Yasharal. And they saw Alahym of Yasharal, and under his feet, as it were paved work of a sapphire stone.
There it is. Hey, hold on. Under his feet was what?
Paved work of a sapphire stone.
Under his feet was what?
Paved work of a sapphire
That's
stone.
why I say you be like, damn, I remember this one. Because it's not the first thing that's going to jump in your mind. Because I know your mind always usually going to go to the ephod because it specifically mentions about them stones. But when you see how he say in the likeness upon it, or the as the appearance of a sapphire stone, because you seeing what was underneath his feet.
Something like this in Revelation 21 with the sapphire stone paved work or something like that, clear as crystal.
That's in for the city itself. You know what I'm talking about? Don't feel slow, me, because this particular point with them sitting down eating is not really discussed unless somebody trying to prove some old Godhead, the Lord existed before time type stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're here for. So that's why it's overlooked. And the reason why I say this is why it's overlooked, because brothers don't realize that Ezekiel 1 is the coming of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to put those things together in their brain. Go ahead.
You think so they saw Yahushua not in his esteem, but just like seen him?
So now, like I said, we were just talking to a brother about this, who's not aware. When you look at the word Alahym, you know, it means a lot of different things. In this context, it said they sat down with the Alahym of Yasharal. So read that for me real quick, right? The definition of Alahym in that passage.
That's Alahym.
No, I'm talking about the definitions. I'm talking
It's
about
rulers, judges, divine ones, Malachim, gods, goddess, a godlike one, work or special possessions of God, the true God or God.
So let me swing over here. So I can be over here. Joanne, hush your mouth. So you go back to Ezekiel 1 for now. See. So listen, right? Let's look at this here, right? We're in verse 9 of Exodus 24. It said they went up Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 elders of Yasharal, and they saw the Alahym of Yasharal, and under his feet as it were paved work of a sapphire stone, and it was clear, and as it were the body of heaven in clearness. And upon the nobles of the sons of Yasharal he laid not his hand, and they saw Alahym, and they did eat and drink with it. Now let's take a look at something. Step by step, move by move. Now they saw the Alahym of Yasharal. That is a given. Why you know why that's a given? Because that's what it say. Now, of course, when you look at Saul, you know that's the word ra'ah. They looked at him, they inspected him, they looked, they gazed, and also that they presented themselves. Now that's where you get at in the heaven of clearness. Run that Revelation 21 real quick, man. What that is, man? About verse 15. Now, see, that's a little different when you look at that one in Moses. We're going to get to in Exodus 33. We're going to get to that in a minute. When you look at clearness, right, it's purification, it's clearness, it's luster. That's how he said the doggone sapphire stones look. They was crystal clear like hell. You go look at the sky right now, if it's a blue sky, it's crystal clear. Well, if you ever seen a sapphire stone, they don't look like that. They don't look like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get you to Revelation 21 so we can get to where we need to do. Here it is. Give me 21 and 10. Roll with that. 15 would have had a too far of the mark.
And he carried me away in the Ruach to a great and high mountain and showed me that great city, the Kadash Jerusalem, descending out of Shamahim from Alahym, having the esteem of Alahym, and are like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal.
That's the same thing that you see in Exodus, clear as crystal. Now, as far as you want to say that if you're looking at a God, they wasn't sitting down with no angel. Because no angel will ever be called the God of Yasharal. He's not going to be called that. You know what I'm talking about? He's not going to be called that. Because that's what it tells you. And they saw Alahym and did eat and drink. You know what I'm talking about? They sat down with him. Notice that they sat down and ate with him after the covenant was made. Why is that important? Because it's giving you a foreshadowing of you sitting down eating with him. With the marriage supper of the Lamb. It's also showing you his desire to dwell with you. Go ahead, sir.
I was just thinking after the Passover, he made the new covenant with the wine.
With the wine. And they sat down and they ate and drank. And they saw the God of Yasharal. You know what I'm talking about? They sat down and they saw him. Now, they may have not sat down and saw him face to face. Remember what he told them. As he said, nobody can look at me face to face and live. You know what I'm talking about? Because we already know it's only one person in this book that saw Yahuwah face to face and lived. And who was that person? Adam. That's it. You know what I'm talking about? Adam looked Yahuwah face to face and lived before they ate from the tree. He looked Yahuwah face to face and lived. Shoot, after he ate from the tree, he looked Yahuwah face to face and lived. And you know why he could do that? Because he was begotten of God. He couldn't die. How he gonna die and he come from God? See, that's a different comment. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we're gonna get there. Hold on. He said, just like the apostle said. Yep, that was standing there was saying, Quran. Now come back to Ezekiel chapter 1. See, remember that's the same page that he said the cities of the New Jerusalem gonna be made out of what?
Pure gold.
Pure gold that look like what?
Transparent glass.
Your mind can't even fathom gold that look like transparent glass. Your mind can't. That means that's from the brilliance of the shine. You've all seen gold shine in sunlight. You know what I'm talking about? You can see that it has some clearness to it when the light hit it, but you can still see the gold. If you could kind of picture that in your brain. Now, we can't even picture in our brain gold that shines so bright that it looked like glass. That man said that jasper stone and that crystal shines so bright, it looked like glass. That sapphire stone that he just said in Exodus 24, it said it shines so bright It was clear like glass. No, excuse me, clear like the heavens. Any of you who've ever been anywhere, especially in a tropical climate, mainly since we live in Florida, this is our day-to-day experience. You know what I'm talking about? You don't even have to go to a tropical locale necessarily to experience this because we live in a tropical climate. If you rode down to any beach in your entire lifetime on a sunny day where there was no clouds in the sky, the heavens is clear, it's all outdoors. And he said, boy, that's what that sapphire stone looked like. They sat down and ate with this man while he sat on his throne. Listen, come on back to verse 26. Read it one more time.
And above the firmament over their heads, the likeness of a throne as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the likeness of the throne, the likeness as the appearance of man above upon it.
Hold on. He say just like October 13, the city ought to go. You're going to have to put that in there. I ain't too locked in on October 19. Come on. And he said, I saw the color of what?
Of amber.
Color of what?
Of amber.
And what else?
As the appearance of fire round about within it.
So around about the throne, he's seen fire. Have we not been establishing that this man is a fire? A flaming fire, a consuming fire. That's what he said. He said it's make his Alahym flaming fire. It said his ruach would be representative of fire. Continue.
Round about it from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from appearance of his loins even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and had brightness round about.
Paul, he said everything about this man was a flaming fire. Isaiah 66 and 15 on general principle. Oh, Lord.
For behold, Yahuwah will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render.
Come with what?
Will come with fire.
Come with what?
With fire.
Okay.
And with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahuwah plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahuwah shall be many.
Because he fired. That's all. My boy said, you blessed to live in Florida. He said, I went there in Pentecost 2019. It's a beautiful place. He goes messing with the white folk. The white folks said, they go niggers, get them. Sure. Not for real. But you did see they convicted the JEA nigga. That nigga's going to prison. Y'all know what I'm talking about, but you don't know what's going on in your own damn city. You remember the JEA man got locked up for all the flim-flamming and scamming they had going on? Oh, I already know because amber is a fragrance choice of mine. Oh, y'all can't see that. Yeah, and amber looked like fire. Fire, burn them. I wouldn't say burn them. Man, why you got your mouth on the table, man? Why you always looking sad like somebody took your lunch money or something, cuz? You sniffing tables? You like the smell of tables? No, I'm just messing with you. He said I was with black folks. One of the brothers said to me that the white folks would be looking at me thinking I'd been kidnapped. No, they don't do that, man. Only if you in them rural counties. Because it's still the South. And be like this here. Goddamn niggers out here. Like where you were living at in them rural counties. You look like you were living in Taylor County. What? I don't know where nigga didn't say you look like it. You know about Taylor County, don't you? So you ain't never been in Taylor County. I know you've been in Wakulla, ain't you? You like to go to Henry County. Columbia. You like to be out there in Santa Fe. You don't even know what that's at, do you? You need to get out of the state. You know what Santa Fe at? Who know what Santa Fe at?
Game.
No, that's a little on down the line. It's it, but that's Pensacola.
I thought you could.
No, the county that's Pensacola. Right around that area, by Escambia. That's what county Pensacola is. You been to Leon County? You need to get out the state. So you ain't never been to Leon County? only been in Jax. Don't nobody say that. Don't nobody from here talking about I'm in Jax. I'm in Jax. Get out. Get out of our city. Nobody from Jacksonville say I'm in Jax. Who talks? Yeah, you don't want to spell the whole name out. That's how we know you ain't from here. Where you live at? I live in Jax. Jax. Oh yeah, get the hell out. Take that joint back to New York City. We don't want that. We don't want that. I'm disgusted. I'm just appalled. Even white people from here don't say that. I'm really disgusted that these white folks say Duval everywhere, because no, they never said that before. They never said that before. See, I done traveled a handful of states. None beats Georgia, but it's nice to travel. Oh, you can keep Georgia. I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they like this here. They talking about, I bet Mac Jones got a Duval chant. We don't want to hear it. I don't care if he's from here or not. I'm talking about somebody, they put a picture of him on the Jaguar Instagram page and him hanging out when he was young with a Blake Border jersey. And I said, yeah, that white boy from here. Because he looked like a white boy from here. He looked like a redneck white boy that hung with black folks. That's straight from Jackson. You gotta wait, bro. You know who Mac Jones is? You know who Mike Jones is, though, don't you? Mm-hmm. Oh, dang, she done slid. Shoot, that junk on YouTube. Oh, we don't dislike the state of Georgia. I just don't want to live there. It's only 2 states that I would live in, but the other one, the tax is too high. That's California. Nigga, ain't no weather good. Nigga, Georgia landlocked. I don't want to live on the coast of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And it get cold around now, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Yeah, we don't want to do it no cold. Let's move on. Where we at, Sid? That's all.
Isaiah 66.
That's good, man. We just showing us the aspect how he coming to destroy with fire. So let's move to this last. We established all those parts, man. Oh yeah, Revelation 3 and 14.
And unto the Alahym of the assembly of the Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of Alahym. I know your works, that you are neither hot, neither cold nor hot. I would you were cold or hot. So then because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth. Because you say I am rich and increased with goods and have need of nothing, and know not that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked.
I counsel
you to buy of me gold tried in the fire,
that you might be
rich and white raiment, that you may be clothed, and the shame of your nakedness do not appear, and anoint your eyes with eye salve, that you may
now,
see.
I came to this aspect of, he say, man, I would recommend you buy gold from me that's been tried in the fire. The purpose, and the moon put this in it, the purpose of the fire is for the purification, which is why the Ruach is signified as fire in them 2 places that we read. The receiving of the Ruach is going to be the purifying of the individual, which will allow you to be clean enough, pure enough to actually dwell in the presence of God. This is the difference of why you see that those men were virgins. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I say that. Because it's not even the aspect of dealing with an idol per se. It's the aspect. Go over here to Daniel 1 and 1. I know we mentioned this the other day. It's the aspect of the purity from a physical standpoint. If you remember the 2 things that you can read. Before approaching the Alahym in Exodus 20, what did he tell them men not to do? To not come at their wives for 3 days. When the high priest came up on David and David asked for the shewbread, he said, at least you haven't done what? Stayed away from women. Do you know what I'm saying? See, it's not the aspect that women are wrong or they're bad. It's the aspect of understanding your law from Leviticus 15. That laying down with, because it's not, like I said, it's not what people do now. You're doing semen retention and you're not ejaculating. The purpose of having coitus with a woman is to ejaculate. You know what I'm saying? So if this man ejaculates, now he has defiled himself. Not that he's defiled himself like what you read in Hebrews 13 when he say the marriage bed undefiled, because clearly he said if you married and you have sex, that's undefiled. But you still defiled in the aspect of laying with that woman. Yes. You would still be unclean as forth as the exchange of bodily fluid. But that's not why dudes do semen retention. Dudes do semen retention for other things. As I told y'all a couple weeks ago, a man is of greater strength and ability the less he ejaculates. You know what I'm talking about? It's like this here, right? I think I'm telling somebody, I didn't read y'all the whole definition of what the refractory period is. That's why when we was like, oh, he ain't got no standard, that ain't got nothing to do with no standard. That is a regular physiological response to ejaculation. The human body is really not, well, the male body is not really made to be ejaculating back to back to back to back. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't make you that way. He said, then I know you don't want to be where I'm from in Colorado. Oh, no. We can visit. I don't want to be there. Not to live. We can visit anywhere. I don't want to live nowhere where it's cold. What that boy said in Minister Society, let them Europeans have that madness. See, this is what it says, but I think I drew this the other day. So, you know, this is the recovery phase. It said it is during which it is physiologically impossible for males to have additional orgasms. And this phase begins immediately after ejaculation and lasts until the excitement phase of the human sexual response cycle begins anew with low-level response. Although it is generally reported that females do not experience a refractory period and can thus experience additional orgasms or multiple orgasms soon after the first one, some sources state that both males and females experience this period because women may also experience a moment afterwards in which sexual stimulation does not produce excitement. So what that means is during that period, it don't matter what you do, how you do it. His body, his mind might be like, yeah. His body is like, nigga, no. The same way if you get punched in the kidney, you can think whatever you want to think, but your body shuts down once you get hit in that liver. It's over. You know what I'm talking about? Who was that last boxer got dropped with the liver shot? That boy was done. And everybody talking about, his throat, his rib. Let a nigga punch you in your liver, see what happens. You know what I'm talking about? And some of y'all grown, you've been doing adult activities, and you like this here, and your body like, it's over. You be like, no, I want it. Your body like, nah, buddy, check back in an hour or two. It's over for you. It's over for the hour. That's what your body knows. He said, I love the heat. I'm pale white. It burns me. Woo.
No, bro. I'll let you know when, bro.
Come on with it. Where we at with it?
Said Daniel 1.
Yeah. I had missed what Nissa said. She said, dang, this part 3. I missed the first 2 parts. No, I had told her when we were doing the first one that I was doing it because she was the one looking for the debate for that. And I told her, I said, you gave me what I want to deal with for the week. I had told her that before we came home. As you can tell, we ain't been singularly focused on identifying if they men or women. You know what I'm saying? It's really everything around it. And then you can draw your own conclusion from the information. Go ahead.
In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Yehuda, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Yehuda, into his hand with part of the vessels of the house of Alahym, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his Alahym. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his Alahym. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of the eunuchs, that he should bring of the children of Yasharal, of the king's seed, of the princes.
Of the who seed?
Of the king's seed.
Of the who seed?
Of the king's seed, and of the princes.
Of the who?
Of the princes.
Of the who?
Of the princes. Children in whom no blemish, but well favored.
Paul, children in whom is no what?
No blemish.
Oh, he giving you a lot of information right there, ain't he?
but well favored and skillful in all wisdom, cunning in knowledge and understanding science. And such had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, to whom they might teach the learning in the tongue of the Chaldeans.
Let's back up a little bit. Number one, let's look at the king seed on the house. I know y'all know what it is.
King is Melukah, that's kingship, royalty, a kingly office.
A kingly office. Seed is a rock.
Seed, sowing, or offspring.
So this is the offspring of those from a kingly office. I want you to Galatians 3:9 on the house.
So then they which be of faith are Baruch with faithful Abraham, for as many as were the works of the law are under the curse, for it is written, cursed is everyone that continue not in all things which are written in the book of the law.
Written in the book of the law.
But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Alahym, evident, for the just shall live by faith.
The just live by what?
By faith.
The
law is not of faith, but the man that do them shall live in them. Mashach have redeemed us from the curse of the law.
Being made what?
A curse for us.
Cursed be he.
Is everyone that hang on a tree, that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yahushua Mashiach, that they might receive the promise of the Ruach through faith. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if confirmed, no man disannul or add thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said not into seeds as of many,
but seeds of
one.
That seed
to your seed, which is a Mashiach.
Pause. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and work this in now. Matter of fact, I can. Because we talking about the king seed, right? Let me finish all these definitions. Because I almost forgot about the thing that I wanted to use the most. Praise the Lord. It just came to my mind. I almost forgot. So, we're establishing, is Mashiach not the king? And if you're born of him, are you not his seed? So now let's talk about the king seed and of the princes. Let's get that definition for princes. Hey, John Joanne, come on around here with me then. Now, how about that?
Princes is Kadam, that's a nobleman.
Remember how we talked about in Jeremiah 30 about the nobles to be themselves, which is princes, rulers, and chiefs? Remember, this is what Daniel is now. He's of the king seed, and he's a prince. What it said, children in whom was no what?
No blemish.
Tell them what a blemish is.
That's moon, a blemish, spot, defect, a physical defect, a moral stain.
No stains and no physical defect. Didn't it say that they were redeemed among men because they had not been defiled? I mean, they had no blemish, no stains. Come on. What's the next one? Well favored.
Well is told.
This mean they good.
And favored is mare, sight, appearance, vision, a spectacle, or scene.
They're good in my sight. That's what he means. Let's look at the next one. Skillful. What's that is?
It's a call to be prudent.
They got some discernment. They got some understanding. We don't care about the wisdom, the knowledge, and all that other stuff. You know what I'm talking about? But give me ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
Ability is co-op.
That's strength. Now let's continue. Verse 5, Daniel 1.
And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Now among these were of the children of Yehuda, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names, for he gave unto Daniel Belshazzar and Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego.
Paul, as you could tell, these young men were what? They hadn't been defiled with women. Now, I want you to take a look at something. It's in my brain. I've been holding it all week. Come over here to 2 Samuel chapter 8. Tell me, man, dang, I left your hat at the house, boy. Nope. I'm going to tell you where I want you to start at in a second. I want you to come to 2 Samuel. Matter of fact, I'll deal with it. 2 Samuel 8:1. He said, after this, it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them. And David took Methag Ammon out of the hand of the Philistines. Shalom, Brandon, man. And he smote Moab and measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground, even with 2 lines measures. He put to death, and with 1 full line to keep alive. And the Moabites became David's servant, brought gifts. David smote also the Hadazer, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah, as they went to recover his border at the river Euphrates. David took him 1,700 horsemen and 20,000 footmen, and David hewed all the chariots, but reserved of them 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadazer, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men. Then David put garrisons in Syria, Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts, and Yahuwah preserved David whither he went. Now, just on the scriptural standpoint, as you can see, of course, when Hamashiach slay these people, Psalm 68 and 29 tell you that they'll bring gifts to your temple. Read it for them, man. Psalm 68 and 29. Just read it. I'm reading a lot of things about these wars, but that's not what we came here for. I really just set you the stage of why we're here.
He said, because of your temple at Jerusalem shall kings bring presents unto you.
See, the same way they came to bring presents unto David, they coming to bring presents unto the Lord for the same token. Now, 2 Samuel chapter 8. What do I want to look at? I read verse 9. And when Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had smitten all the hosts of Hadazer, then Toi sent Joram, his son, unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadazer and smitten him, for Hadazer had wars with Toi, and brought with him vessels of silver, vessels of gold, and vessels of brass, which also King David did dedicate unto Yahuwah with the silver and gold that he dedicated of all the nations which he had subdued. Revelation 21 and 24. That means that these gold and silver had been sanctified. Indeed, they did. Brandon mentioned how they brought him to Joseph, which is factual.
Saying the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their esteem and honor into it. The gates of it shall not be shut.
And they say the kings of the earth bringing their what?
Bring their esteem and honor into it.
Ain't that what these men doing? Let's come back to 2 Samuel chapter 8, but that's still not what we came here for. Verse 12, of Syria and Moab, and of the children of Ammon and the Philistines, and of Amalek, and of the spoil of Hadazer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. David got a name when he returned from smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt. 18,000. Notice that he said he got him a what?
A name.
When he did what?
Returned from smiting the Syrians.
In the where?
The valley of Salt.
It's the same way Yahushua gonna get him a name when he slay him in the valley of decision, the valley of Jehoshaphat. Because remember, what is Armageddon, everybody? The battle. A lot of people think it's a what? It's a place. You know what I'm talking about? Let's take a look at that. What that is? What Revelation what? Oh, most definitely, Brandon, most definitely. What is it? Revelation 16 and what? I don't know if it's 13. I think that's the spirits. That's it. I think that's the frogs. Just give me Revelation 16 and 9 and run it from there.
No, that started at 16.
No, I'm getting everything for that. Give me 9 and run it from there.
And men were scorched with great heat and blaspheming the name of Alahym.
Give me 7 then.
And I heard another out of the altar say, even so, Lord Alahym, Almighty, true and righteous your judgments. The fourth Malachim poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire.
Scorch them?
And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of Alahym, which had power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him esteem.
They didn't want to do it.
And the fifth Malachim poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the name of Alahym of Shamahim.
Now remember, this is stuff that's happening in Egypt, right? Now we told you. Out of all the plagues that happened in Revelation that mirror Egypt, what's the one plague that happened in Revelation that happened in Egypt that you don't see in Revelation? The murdering of the firstborn, the slaying, the killing, the smiting. You don't see that there. Remember, we discussed that last night because the slaying of the firstborn was for the purpose of dedicating the firstborn in Yasharal forever. And again, every firstborn son that comes from between a woman's legs has been sanctified to Yahuwah. Every single solitary one, with no exception. Not every firstborn male on the earth, every firstborn male of the sons of Yasharal. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, if you own animals, your firstborn males are sanctified to Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? If you had cows, sheep, dogs, it wouldn't matter. He said man and beast, didn't it? Okay, that's what he meant then. That's what he meant then. Come on with it.
Saying the men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of Alahym, which had power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him esteem. And the fifth Malachim poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed Alahym and Shamahim because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds.
Got sores on your butt, nigga.
And the sixth Malachim poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw three unclean ruachs like frogs out of the mouth of the serpent, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the ruachs of devils, working miracles. Go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Almighty Alahym.
Paul, we ran all this down because what's the purpose that's going to make these people want to fight? All these vials and plagues that have been dropped on their head. When we were talking earlier, and these dudes were like, what type of God would want to test you and kill your kids and all this other stuff, man? And a brother asked the dude straight up and down, nigga, what you going to do about it? You going to shoot your little gun towards heaven? And you know what's funny? That's what these people planning on doing. These people are literally planning on gathering armies up to fight this man. Now, you want to hear about stupid. How stupid can you be to think that you could actually beat God in a military conflict? But they looking at it, man, he done made it go dark. He done scorched us with the sun. He done did all. See, they want to do what Pharaoh couldn't do. See, Pharaoh tried to go fight Israel. Notice that you see this here. They not coming to fight Israel. They gathering to fight Yahuwah himself. Pharaoh didn't get that opportunity. He probably would have liked to have it. But he didn't get that opportunity. Go ahead. Revelation 16 and what?
Verse 15. Say, behold, I come as a thief. Baruch is he that watch and keep his garments, lest he walk naked and they see shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
See, everybody talking about we're getting ready for Armageddon. Armageddon is not a war that's just going to take place. It is a location. It is a location. Tell them what Armageddon means. And we know that Armageddon is what? The Valley of Decision.
It is the hill or city of Megiddo.
Megiddo. Do y'all know what Megiddo is? You like Megadeth, don't you? You look like you just listen to that. You walk around with rock and roll t-shirts on. You don't know their music? Let's discuss what Megiddo is, for those who don't know.
Yeah. Place of crowds.
Mm-hmm. So there's gonna be a whole lot of people there. Who that is doing all that? That little Joseph? I should have known it was little Rufy. She always upset. Who did it to Ruth? So boom, boom, boom. We got Mount Megiddo. It's a hill overlooking the valley. Let's see what we got here. It's in the land. I'm trying to find the geography. Give me First Chronicles, man. 7, man. And tell me what verse 29 say. You at a funeral? Give me a second to get around there. There it is. First Chronicles 7 and 28.
And their possessions and habitations, Bethel and towns thereof, eastward, Naran, and westward, Gezer, and the towns thereof, Shechem, also in the towns thereof, unto Gaza, and the towns thereof, and by the borders of the children of Manasseh, Beth Shean and her towns, Tanakh and her towns, Megiddo and her towns, Dor and her towns, and these dwelt the children of Joseph, the son of Yasharal.
So notice Megiddo is where? It's in the northern portion of the land. You know what I'm talking about? It's in basically what you call that place? Call them people? It's in Manasseh. That's where that land's at. That's a spot. You know what I'm talking about? That's just not some worldwide war that's just gonna happen any and everywhere. That is a location. You know what I'm talking about? It's a location for a particular war in a particular place. And the reason it's in my mind, I just heard Joe Rogan talking a clip with him talking to Cat Williams. He talking about Armageddon. Like people think World War III, quote unquote, would be Armageddon because they make you think Armageddon is the name of a war. It is the name of a place. Read 16 and 16 one more time.
It said he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue
So Paul,
Armageddon.
Who's gathering them together? Yahuwah gathering these people together to fight these people. In the Hebrew tongue called what?
Armageddon.
Or the Valley of Megiddo, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And the seventh Malachim poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of Shamahim.
And what he said?
It is done.
It's over with. I'm coming to see you. Come on.
And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake, so great. The great city was divided into three parts. The cities and the nations of the nations fell. Great Babylon came in remembrance before Alahym to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath.
That's good. So notice, the Battle of Armageddon is before Babylon falls. You understand? Notice that he said that he would cause it to go dark on the BC. That means the BC ain't in Armageddon. It's not in Babylon. That's not where he ruling from. You should know that because you should know that from Daniel 11 and Revelation 11 that he ruling in the land. But let's continue. Back to 2 Samuel chapter 8. I just wanted to mention that because that Valley of Salt came through for the slaughter. You did? You should know from Revelation 17 and Revelation 19 the people coming up to fight. You should also remember that. Let's look at that, the Valley of Decision. Give me Joel chapter 3. Let's talk about it since we talking about Armageddon. Let me tell you what verse I want to, so we get straight to the point. There it is, verse 14. You can make it 11.
Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. There cause your mighty ones to come down, O Yahuwah. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
There come up to the valley of who?
Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put you in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahuwah near.
The valley of Jehoshaphat, you know, who knows what Jehoshaphat name means? Now, decision is the valley of strict decision, strict judgment. But do y'all remember what Jehoshaphat name means? It's kind of in his name with the O-fat at the end. Then you would be correct, good sir. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I'm not sure if it is, Mika. I'm not sure if it is. So listen, that is a valley near Jerusalem. That separates Jerusalem from the Mount of Olives. Where does the book say that the Lord coming back to? Bring them right there. I slaughter you dead. See, he gonna gather them up in the northern kingdom and kill some niggas. He gonna gather some niggas up here, and I'm gonna kill some niggas and eat them. And you know why it's proper that he would start right there? Because he said, I'm gonna start at my house first and then work my way out. Get him Isaiah 63:1 on the strength.
Isaiah what?
63:1.
Say, who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, that is esteemed in his apparel, travailing in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore, right in your apparel, your garments like him that tread in the wine fat. I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people none with me. For For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. The blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
Now you know why he's sliding through Edom. Because the beast's going to be from Edom. But that's another, we don't want to venture too far into that. I just wanted to talk about that because we're looking at David slain in the Valley of Salt. Matter of fact, let's look at what that Valley of Salt is and where that's at. You like salt, boy? You salt, boy? That's what boys on the beach used to say. They're from the salt. That's what my homeboys say. You ain't from the salt. Let's see if I can find the location for the Valley of Salt. They ain't give me nothing off the top. This is a steep gully, a steep valley. Nevertheless, 2 Samuel 8, and let me not get stuck on, and we don't get to what I came here for. 8 and 14, excuse me. And he put garrisons in Edom, and throughout all Edom he put garrisons. And all they of Edom became David's servants. And Yahuwah preserved David whithersoever he went. Listen, David reigned over all Yasharal, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. And Joab the son of Zeruiah over the host, and Jehoshaphat the son of Elud, recorder, and Zadok the son of Atub, and Amalek the son of Abathar, the priest, and Sariah the scribe, and Benaiah the son of Yehoda, both the Cherethites and the Pelethites. And David's sons were what? Chief rulers. Listen, I want all of y'all, before I say it out loud, to look up the word for chief rulers. And when you find that word for chief rulers, I want you to pause, and then I want you to tell me what word you see and the first definition that stands out to you when you read what that chief rulers is. Now, what word have you found for chief rulers?
The priest.
No, I say what word?
Oh, Kohen.
Now, what? Not all the definitions. What definition should stand out to you? You ought to pay attention to the context. Whose sons are chief rulers? What tribe do David come from? So now look at those definitions, and what's the first thing that should stand out to you?
Priest king Melchizedek.
Priest king Melchizedek. There's absolutely no way that David's sons could be priests and kings. Now, could it? But yet he said all his sons were chief rulers. Now, I want you to pay attention because, see, all of this is taking us back to the first fruit conversation. Read it again for me in Revelation 14:4.
These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb wheresoever he go. These were redeemed from among men, the first fruits unto Alahym and to the Lamb.
Pause. Now read me Numbers 3 and 13 again. Indeed, Quran, indeed.
Because all the firstborn mine, on the day that I smote all the firstborn.
Back me up to 12. My apologies.
And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Yasharal instead of all the firstborn that opened the matrix among the children of Yasharal.
Now, this is something that we ain't talked about in a long time, but some of y'all remember this here. How many times you remember we used to look at this here? All firstborn sons were supposed to be priests. So instead of taking the firstborns from every tribe, he just set apart a tribe instead. He said, what you know what niggas don't see with that, on that when there is, what they don't realize what that is? That's a change in the law now, isn't it? So when we come over here to this Hebrew chapter 7 and verse 9, you run that for me and you see what that sounds like. Because it wasn't supposed to be the Levites, it was supposed to be the firstborn. That's what your law just said. He said the day he killed all the firstborn in Egypt, I sanctify all the firstborn to be my priest. Come on.
And as I may so say, Levi also, who received tithes.
Man, bump that jump, man. Give it verse 1. They ain't gonna hurt anybody.
Say, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High Alahym, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the
Genesis
kings.
14 and 17 for those who don't know who Melchizedek is.
And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of of Kedolamer, and of the kings that were with him in the valley of Shabbat, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine.
Melchizedek, king of what?
Of Salem, brought forth bread and wine.
And he was
the priest of the Most High Alahym.
Paul, Psalms 110:1. Melchizedek is an order where the high priest is king also. It said all David's sons were what? They were kings and priests. Oh my. Come on.
It said, Yahuwah, say unto my Lord, sit you at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. Yahuwah shall send the rod of your strength out of Zion, rule in the midst of your enemies. Your people willing in the day of your power, and the beauties of Kadash from the womb of the morning, you have the dew of your youth. Yahuwah has sworn and will not repent. You a priest forever.
You are what forever?
A priest forever.
After the what?
Order of Melchizedek.
I tell them what order means right there, man. We know what Melchizedek means.
Order is Debrah, cause, manner, reason, order.
Cause, reason, order. What does Melchizedek mean by definition for those who don't know?
That is, my king is Ladach.
My king is Ladach, or my king is righteous. That's what it means. My king is righteous. You remember what it said in Jeremiah 23, and his name shall be called what? Yahuwah, our righteousness. Our Alahym reign. Your king is righteous. That's what Melchizedek means. So he said, you are a priest forever after a righteous king. That's what that means. Malachi 2:5 on general principle. From Malachi 2:5 to Zechariah 6:10.
It said, my covenant was with him of life and shalom, and I gave them to him the fear wherewith he feared me and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
The priest should do what?
Keep knowledge.
And they should seek the what?
The law at his mouth.
Why?
For he is the messenger of Yahuwah of hosts.
Zechariah 6:10. I'll get to Hebrews 7 because I'm already there.
Say, take of the captivity of Heldai, Tobiah, Shadiah, which of Babylon, and come you the same day, and go into the house of Josiah, the son of Zephaniah. Then take silver and gold and make crowns, and set upon the head of Joshua, the son of Jehoshaphat, the high priest, and speak unto him, saying, thus speak Yahuwah of hosts, saying, behold, the man whose name is a branch.
The man whose name is the what?
The branch.
Notice that same name, man whose name is a branch, is in Jeremiah 23, whose name is Yahuwah, our righteousness.
And he shall grow up.
I said Jeremiah 23, excuse me, it's Jeremiah 33. Let me just get that there, man, for clarity's sake. That's Jeremiah 33:15. In the days and at that time, I caused the branch of righteousness to grow up under David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. And that's what we just read and said that's what David was doing in 2 Samuel 8. And in those days shall Yehudah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely, and this the name wherewith he shall be called, Yahuwah our righteousness. Come on with it, man. That's right. That's in Malachi, where the moon just put up there, son of righteousness, and he shall come with healing in his wings.
Okay, speak unto him, saying, thus speak Yahuwah of hosts, saying, behold, the man whose name is the branch, he shall grow up out of his place, he shall build the temple of Yahuwah. Even he shall build the temple of Yahuwah, he shall bear the esteem, he shall sit and rule upon his throne, he shall be a priest upon his throne, and the council of shalom shall be between them both.
He said he'll be a what on his throne?
A priest.
And a what else? And a king. I told you, I talked to a brother about this here. I said, man, let me hear your thoughts about Zechariah 6:10. Nigga didn't even know it was there. I said, well, damn. How y'all gonna have a debate about Melchizedek and you got a man who was a Levite, because this was Yahushua, son of Jehoshaphat. You should know him from the book of Nehemiah and Ezra. He wasn't of the tribe of Judah. He was a Levite. He was of sons of Aaron. He was a literal high priest. And here comes a prophecy state. I ain't even see what you had put in the chat, Nissan. That's not on YouTube, though. This man is literally Melchizedek. But he's saying the person that Yahushua, son of Jehoshaphat, is representative of the branch, though. Ain't it what it said? Because Yahushua, son of Jehoshaphat, didn't build the temple, nor did he bear the esteem of the temple. Give me Isaiah 16:1 right behind that.
Send you the lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah to the wilderness unto the mount of the daughter of Zion. For it shall be as a wandering bird cast out of the nest. The daughters of Moab shall be at the fords of Arnon.
What the Lord gonna be doing?
Take counsel, execute judgment.
Do what?
Take counsel
And do what?
Execute judgment.
And what else?
Make your shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcast. Bewray him, not him that wandered.
Listen.
Let my outcast dwell with you, Moab. Be you a covert for them at the face of the spoiler. The extortioners at an end, the spoilers cease. The oppressors are consumed out of the land.
Out of the land.
And in mercy shall the throne be established.
And in mercy shall the what?
Throne be established.
And he shall sit upon it.
In the truth in the tabernacle of David.
Judging.
And seeking judgment.
And hasting.
Righteousness.
Don't that sound like a priest and a king? This man telling you all this here, man. But dudes don't be picking this up. So come back to Hebrews 7:1. I want to establish everything around that about Melchizedek. Because 2 Samuel 8:18 said David's sons were chief rulers, and it was literally Cohen. David's sons couldn't be Cohen because they were from Yehuda. So that means this is telling you about something later. You don't read nowhere where Solomon was king and priest. You know what I'm talking about? You don't read nowhere where Absalom and Adonijah were kings and priests. Adonijah died in the temple. But it told you what we read about Daniel, him being a eunuch. You know what I'm talking about? He was of the king's what? Seed, wasn't it? You know what I'm talking about? And we know it's not seeds of many, but seeds of one. That seed being a Mashiach. And if you were Mashiach's son, guess what you would be? You would be Melchizedek. You know why you would be Melchizedek? Exodus 19:1, one time from your law. I'm trying to work the sun up, man.
In the third month, when the children of Yasharah were going forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the wilderness. And there Yasharah camped before the mount. Moses went up unto Alahym. Yahuwah called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Yasharah, You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians. And I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and
you will be what?
Keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
And what will you be?
For all the earth mine. You shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
A kingdom of what?
Of priests.
That means the dominion of. Tell them what priest is that, man. What word is you?
That's Kohen again.
Again, you would be priest kings, or you would be Melchizedek. See, that was the intent. It's underlined. See, we scream, we a kingdom of kings and priests. A lot of you niggas ain't. You know what I'm talking about? Because you don't understand what that means. That means you can have dominion and rule as the messenger of Yahuwah of hosts at the same time. See, I know we mention this a lot, that it's our job to teach the nations, but never at any time did he tell anybody to go teach nobody. You was really supposed to be an example of him outwardly, and the people would come to God based on how you behave. I'm talking about before the gospel came forth. You know what I'm talking about? Indeed, I'm glad Quran said that. Just like Adam. Because guess what Adam was? Adam, we talked about this before. Adam was the first Melchizedek. He was the first Melchizedek. Adam was king and priest, contrary to popular belief. You know what I'm talking about? He had to be. He had to be everything Yahusha is. Look here, man. Adam was a pastor. Adam was a prophet. If you don't know Adam was a prophet, all you have to look at a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. What father and mother did Adam have to leave from? He had no father or no mother. That man ain't got no genealogy that you can reckon. That's wild. But I can understand why they would say that. But you know what they don't even realize? He was prophesying of the gospel when he said that in Genesis 2 in regards to his spouse. Adam was an apostle because who taught him? He learned directly from God. He ain't learned. Ain't no man sit down and taught Adam nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no man sat down and taught Adam nothing. Was not Adam given dominion from the jump street? So that would make him a king if you got dominion, because only kings get dominion. That's why I ain't gonna tell some. That's why I don't like when niggas talking about peace king. Every nigga ain't a king, man. And every woman ain't a queen. You can't be walking around telling people that. Because everybody's not. We already talked about this. Well, if you don't come from David's seed, you don't come from a seed of kings. No way. But see, that's on the natural side. See, niggas would rather be kings in the earth than kings in heaven because you don't want to do the work necessary to be a king in heaven. You know what I'm talking about? See, Adam was Melchizedek. It's forth as being king and priest. Again, Adam was an apostle. Adam was the son of God. Adam was a pastor. Adam was all of those things. You know what I'm talking about? And then he manifested the love of God by laying his life down. But see, a lot of brothers, they're not going to catch that. I keep telling y'all that. Niggas be on a gender war. If you bring the gender war of the natural world into the word, you're going to fail every time. You know why you're going to fail every time? Because the gender world and the natural world is a carnal argument. And you can't bring carnality to Yahuwah and expect it to fit. You know why? Because he said the carnal mind is what? Enmity against the instructions of Alahym. And it can't be subject to it. So carnality is always going to have hatred for the Ruach of God because the carnal mind or the flesh will not subject himself to Alahym's dominion. It can't, it won't, it refuses. He said these people don't even know what they, praise Yahuwah, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like you have to pay attention to that. You understand? So we back in Hebrews 7, right? But I'm glad you said that with Adam because I almost forgot about him. Because he the first Melchizedek. And if you want to look at the second person who sat in the seat of Melchizedek, it's Moses. You know what I'm talking about? Because effectively Moses was a king and a priest, bringing them up out of Yasharal. Up out of Egypt, excuse me. You know what I'm talking about? Who that?
I said Deuteronomy said he was a king.
It does. He said, I'm starting to see a lot of that on earth as it is in heaven. Absolutely. The framework of how it is in heaven is how he wanted represented on the earth. Why? Because it's Yahuwah's desire to dwell on earth with man. See, that's why when a dude said God don't want to dwell with you filthy niggas, y'all just don't realize how much love your God got and how real he is. He said, I could be separate from you. He said, but man, I'm so cold with it that I want to give you my framework of how it is in heaven because I'm preparing you because I want to dwell. I want to come dwell with you. I don't want you to come dwell with me. He said, I made the earth to be inhabited. I ain't make it vain. That's why he said, I'm going to make a new heaven and a new earth, and the former one won't come to mind. That's why I told you, you're not going to be in a new heaven and new earth talking about what you did when you was in high school. You remember when Kobe dropped them 80? Nobody don't give a damn about when Kobe did that. We don't care about no world war. The reason why this, like I told the brother yesterday, and this stuff got to pass away, this earth is defiled. It's defiled. If it ain't defiled with nothing else, it's defiled with innocent blood. I'm not talking about innocent blood, how man determine innocent blood. I'm talking about innocent blood, how Yahuwah determine innocent blood. You shed the blood of Yahuwah on this earth. That alone, the earth is done. Not even counting any man who got killed before Yahushua got hung on that tree. Well, you spilled the blood of the Son of God on the earth. The earth is defiled. You know what I'm talking about? It's defiled. It's a wrap. It's over with. You know what I'm talking about? That's before we go to talking about anybody else. See, sometimes we'll look at that's an innocent child. It ain't an innocent child if their daddy wicked, because that baby that died that David had, that wasn't no innocent baby. That baby was built from sin. That's why he said he had to kill it, didn't it? That go back to what we were talking about. People see the marriage bed undefiled. That means you can play with dildos and all this whole other stuff. That's not what that means. That means if you having sex and you not married, that bed is defiled. That's all that means. But niggas don't even know that. They mean, marriage bed undefiled. They thinking that means you can get in the bed and do whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like, no, that's not what that means. Oh, that he tell you marriage is what? Honorable. And adulterers and whoremongers, Alahym will judge. So he telling you what the plan is. And guess what? Marriage is just not honorable for saints. It's honorable for everybody. What's that mean? Gay marriage is honorable? Stupid. We wouldn't even dignify that with a response. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to learn not to even dignify some. How we gonna sit back and say that's honorable? Nigga, you get put in the buck by another man. Ain't nothing honorable about that. Niggas don't want to talk about that whoremonger part. Boy, there's a lot of niggas going to hell for that one. Male and female. I done heard dudes say a man can't be a whoremonger. You call it whatever you want. You call it a man whore, a whoremonger, a harlot, whatever you want to be. It's funny that nigga say a man can't be a whoremonger and one of the definitions is a male temple prostitute. You know what I'm talking about? I guess nigga don't really know what a whoremonger is, man. That's a nigga selling booty at the temple house. Straight up. But niggas don't want to talk about that. Niggas don't want to talk about that. Niggas don't want to talk about antiquity. Niggas was selling booty hole at the false god's house. Women, men, whoever. More than likely men. Depending on the God, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And the revenger of blood coming for pay. You better know the revenger of blood coming, because that's what your law say. Your law say whosoever sheds man blood, by man must blood be shed. That's why he told you, I'm not going to meet you as God, I'm going to meet you as a man. You know what I'm talking about? He manifested himself as a man. He see, it wouldn't be fair if I came and met you as God and killed you. I'm going to come meet you like you is, and I'm going to kill you. See, that's how cold he is with the game, man. That man gangster with it. That man ain't nobody to be played with. You know what I'm talking about? He said, I'm going to come as a man. I'm going to endure all your infirmities and weaknesses. I'm going to hold fast, not because I have some innate greatness in me that you don't have, but because I love my Father and trust in his promises and believe his word. I'm going to endure all that so that when I overcome, I'm going to kill all you niggas who hate me. Because he told you in Deuteronomy 7, I'm going to repay those that hate me to their face. But let's make it clear. You know your book say what? He don't take no pleasure in the death of him that died. They know what he said. And when we read Matthew 25, who he said he made hell for? He said he made it for Satan and his angels. He didn't make hell. You know what type of loving God would send people to hell? He didn't make hell for you, you jackass. He didn't make it for you. All you got to do, the Lord told you that. Go into hell prepared for the devil and his angels. The lake of fire where the worm dies not and the fire shall not be quenched was not created for man. That was created for Satan. But see, this is the thing. The adversary like this here. I'm finna take as many as you goofy niggas with me. And now you want to blame God because this nigga know he going to hell. That's like a nigga going to jail. He trying to get everybody to do crimes with him so he can tell on you later. That's why I tell you, don't fool with the devil. He a buster. He a sucker. He is the epitome of the definition of a pussy nigga, a hoe nigga, a F nigga, if you would. You must avoid a man of this caliber of all sorts. You got to avoid niggas like that. This is a nigga who is committed to your destruction and failure by using your own frailties and desires against you. That's why you have to be strong. That's why you have to be honest on what you're weak about. That's why you can't be walking around here playing games. You got to be honest, like, hey, boy, I got an issue with that. I just told a brother there earlier. Y'all already know this. I don't respect niggas who act like they ain't got an issue with something, but they doing it when ain't nobody looking. I don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? I respect a man more that say, boy, I got a problem with them hoes. Boy, I'm smashing, bro. I need help. I respect that more because you know why? At least you honest with yourself, meaning if the devil came, you might could see him coming. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not honest with yourself, man, that man runs circles around you, man. Let me see what Nick just said. He said, I don't see how people don't love our Alahym. The greatest love we could ever know that comes from above, and people reject that. Indeed, and it's because they don't know no better. Brother Marvin said, that sounds like a Nino Brown. He said, it's bigger than Nino Brown. I'm going to tell you the real head of CMP. But then he said, Kareem Akbar, the pretty nigga from the bank. He taking everybody down. That's how people roll. You got to pay attention to that. Satan's whole objective is he wants to destroy as many people as possible because he's already gone. And see, he's convinced you that Yahuwah wanted to put you where he putting him. He convinced you that was Yahuwah's desire for you to go to hell. When really it was the devil's desire. He done made you hate God for something God ain't had nothing to do with. That's a dirty nigga. That's a dirty nigga. You know what I'm saying? He playing a dirty game. You got to be on top of that, man. You got to be on top of your game, man. You can't be around here dilly-dallying in the flesh like these niggas be talking about. Man, you playing in your flesh? Man, Satan, you are at Satan's whims when you playing in your flesh. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not talking about that you in the flesh. Because what these niggas were talking about earlier, we were talking about Job. They was like, see, Job was different. I said, how is Job different from anybody in this room? Job ain't different from nobody on this stream. Job ain't no different from nobody in this clubhouse. You know why? Because Job was dust and ashes. Job didn't have a faith that no man on this earth couldn't have. See, we have allowed ourselves to believe that these men in this book was so much different from you when the epistle of James, get it for me if you will, good sir. James chapter 5, verse 14. And listen to what the apostles say in regards to this matter. Amen, Mika. Say right, agree. When adversity quickly, he be accusing us. When we down, we can repent. If not, say, I'm trying to tell you, turn you every way but loose.
It says, any sick among you, let him call for the elders of the assembly. Let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
Come on.
And the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise them up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him.
Listen.
Confess your faults one to another. Pray for one for another, that you may be healed.
Listen what this man finna say.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Listen what this man finna say.
Elijah was a man subject to like passions.
Elijah was a man subject to what?
Like passions as we are.
Elijah was a man subject to what?
Like passions as we are.
And what did he do?
He prayed earnestly that it might not rain, and it rained not on the earth by the space of 3.5 years.
Come on.
And he prayed again, and Alahym gave rain, and the earth brought forth her fruit. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth and one convert him, let him know that he which convert the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death.
Now, I read that because he said Elijah was a man subject to what? Like passions as you are. You ain't no different than him. Then you see, this came to my mind when I first got the word and my homeboy had played this video, and these Hebrews was like, you got to gather up and prepare because God ain't going to feed you like he fed Elijah. And I done told y'all that before. My mind clicked, why wouldn't he? What make Elijah better than me? Nothing. The only thing that would make Elijah better than me is if I was an unbelieving sinner. That's it. But if you are a faithful saint and you trust and hope in the words of the living Alahym through the faith of Yahushua HaMashiach, why wouldn't he give to your needs? That would make him a liar because he said that's what he would do. He says his ears are open to the prayers of the righteous. That's what he said. So goddamn what a stupid nigga say anywhere on the internet. I told this nigga this yesterday. Who I'm gonna believe, you or Yahuwah? I don't give a damn what you say. I don't give a damn about your scholarship. What did Yahuwah say? I'm going with him. I'm going with him. Bump what you talking about. Do you understand that these niggas trying to convince you not to believe in God? Do y'all understand that? How many times have y'all read in the text where he told you to wait on Yahuwah? Not in the New Testament, just in the Old. What niggas like to tell you not to do? To wait on Yahuwah. How many times this man tell you to make supplication and pray to him? How many times niggas tell you praying don't work? Why is you listening to these niggas? You taking the words of man over God. I'm not doing that. Nigga can't tell me that. Because I will get this. See, I'm going to start. I tell you, I try to be professional. But sometimes I be want to tell these niggas something, man. How you going to tell me not to believe in the man who made me while you trying to tell me about him? How you going to tell me not to pray to him? How you going to tell me not to wait on him and trust in him? How you going to tell me not to pour out my heart to him and he say he a refuge for us? How you going to tell me that? You telling me he lying. I'm going to tell you, you can go to hell and I'm going to walk away from you. Straight like that. I don't give a damn what you call me. I don't care what you think about me because I'm going with him. You know why? Number 23 and 19 on general principle. This is why.
Alahym, not a man that he should lie.
He's not a who?
A man.
That's why Paul say, let Alahym be true and every man be a what? Wow. Where you think he got that from? You just thought he just said that because it sounded cool? Alahym is not a who?
A man that he should lie.
Nor the son of Adam?
That he should repent.
If he said it.
Shall he not do?
That's all you need to know. If that man say, I ain't never seen the righteous forsaken begging for bread, you could count that. If that man say, I show mercy to thousands of them that love me and keep my covenant, you could count that. If that man say, wait on Yahuwah, I say, wait on Yahuwah, then wait on him then. The hell these niggas talking about, man? Don't you know that's how Saul got in trouble because he ain't wait on Yahuwah? You see what happened to him? You listen to these jackasses if you want to. You better listen to Yahuwah. I ain't telling you listen to me. I said you better listen to Yahuwah. Because this is what Yahuwah told you to do. This ain't what I'm telling you to do. Yahuwah told you to wait on him. Yahuwah told you to trust in him. Yahuwah told you to seek him. Yahuwah told you to hope on him. That's all I need to know. Bumping these niggas out here talking about. I don't need to do nothing other than serve God. That's all I got to do. You know why? Because I'm a stranger and pilgrim on the earth. Ain't that what he said? I confess I desire a city where the maker and builder is Alahym. I don't give a damn about nothing on this earth. Ain't got nothing to do with me, baby. This ain't my home. I'm just here kicking it for a second till I die or till we slide. Either way it go, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what Mr. Charlie do over here. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I've been telling y'all for years. Why y'all get concerned with center business and center problems? I don't give a damn about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, or whatever the hell these white folks doing. I don't give a damn. That ain't got nothing to do with me, because if God be for me, who can be against me? Ain't that what the book say? So why you give a damn about these people, man? Did this man not tell you that I will avenge you speedily? Why is you worried about these goddamn people? They going to hell. And they're not going to hell because I want them to go. And they ain't going to hell because they white. They're not going to hell because they Asian. They're going to hell because they have rejected the living God to their own hurt. And they will not repent to give him esteem. That's why they're going. And if a man has made the decision to reject the living God, who am I to stand in his way? Who am I to stand in his way? By all means, brother, perish. I must deliver my soul, so I shall be departing from you now. Ain't that what the prophet did when he ran up on Asa? He said, oh, I see you who are determined to kill you. I'm gone. He ain't sit there and begging. Please hear what I got to say. He said, oh, no. I see what's going on here. I'm gone. You know what I'm talking about? I've been telling y'all that for years and showing it to you right out the book. Well, you have to understand that. What he told Samuel about Saul. What you crying over this nigga for, seeing I done rejected him? Get up and go do what I told you to do. Sitting here crying for this nigga. I'm finna kill this nigga. And you around here weeping for him. Don't weep for this nigga. He made his decision. But I can understand why Samuel would do that. Because more than likely he was sad for his soul. You know what I'm talking about? I understand if you got somebody you care about, especially if they was dealing with Yahuwah and they done went the other way, and that just make your soul sad. You ain't wrong for having your soul being sad. You're wrong when you're wilding in it. Because I'm going to tell you something real. Boy, you can pray all you want to pray. Once Yahuwah done cut somebody off, it don't matter how many prayers you send. That is a wrap. That is a wrap. You can't pray Yahuwah to change his mind from somebody he done determined to be reprobate. Remember, reprobate means to reject. That's the son of Belial. He worthless to him. There's nothing you could say. Was there anything Samuel could say for Saul? Was there any prayer and fasting David could do to save that baby? Once the judgment has been rendered, that is over. There's a difference if the judgment ain't been rendered. You got to know the difference now. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no judgment was rendered against David. That's why he didn't get killed. But once that man has decreed, this is what he gonna do. Oh, that's a wrap. You know what I'm talking about? That is a wrap. That is over. That is done. There's nothing to discuss. That's why you don't play with this man. As we was explaining to the young brother earlier, there's a difference in you don't know no better and you sinning, and you like, oh, I think he forgave me. The stuff everybody done did when you called yourself being in the word. God forgive me. You thinking he done forgave you, but you still, that's different. You ain't on no word. There is a different level of accountability. When this man say, when you have knowledge of the truth and commit willful sin, that's a different conversation, because now you have willfully and wantonly disobeyed this man. And you know full well that there is no sacrifice for willful sin in this law. Ain't none. Nobody can't find it. You ever seen one? I've been doing this 15 years. I ain't never seen one. I know about sins for sacrifices for sins of ignorance. You can't tell me you ignorant and you went and had sex with a man and you know this man law say don't do that. You can't tell me you ignorant when you know this man law say don't commit adultery with your neighbor's wife and you went and did that. And you can't tell me you didn't know. You knew what you was doing. You can't tell me you didn't know when you had an altar to a false god in your garage and you bound down worshiping. You remember the house we went in, that nigga had him goddamn, we had to get the hell up out of there. And it was Sabbath coming too. I don't want this junk on me. Goddamn lighting candles to this funny looking deity in here. We had to heard it, and you steady want to keep us in here. I want to get the hell out of here. I don't like it here. You know what I'm saying? But see, I'm just hitting the normal sins people talk about. But let's keep it real. How you gonna say you ain't willfully sinning? You know this man say not to be malicious and spiteful and contentious and strife filled with emulations and wrath, and that's how you operate, huh? Because everybody like talk about Sabbath and idols, don't it? But let's talk about them dark affairs of the heart, though. You don't receive the knowledge of the truth, it ain't transformed your heart. Why you hate your brother without a cause? What he did to you? He ain't did nothing to you. Let me get back to this Melchizedek, man. I apologize, but I hate these niggas. I promise I do. I hate them all. Anybody who tell you not to trust in God, I hate that nigga. I've been telling you that the whole 15 years. Am I lying? I hate a nigga tell you that. That's somebody trying to overthrow your faith. I hate a nigga like that. I hit that nigga in the face with a baseball bat, aluminum. You know what I'm saying? Because you know they only make you don't use wooden bats till you get to the pros. College on down, you got to hear. I'm gonna hit you in the mouth with an aluminum bat because I don't necessarily want your teeth to come out. I want them to ring and be a little loose. You know what I'm saying? So when the wind blow, it be like wind chimes. Hebrews 7:1.
For this Melchizedek,
I got you. My bad. I got you. Say, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High Alahym, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings, baruched him, to whom also Abraham gave a 10th part of all, first being by their interpretation Malach of Zadok, and after that Malach of Shalom, which is king of peace. Without father, without mother, without descent, neither having beginning of days nor end of life, made like unto the son of Alahym, abide a priest continually. Now consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave the 10th of the spoils. And truly they that are the sons of Levi who receive the office of priesthood have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law, that is of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. So those of you who don't know, it's two men in the law who paid tithes, but one other man who paid tithes besides Abraham. Who was that man? That was Jacob. You know what I'm talking about? So see, a lot of people say tithes is for the Levites. They're highly misinformed. Tithes weren't never for the Levites because tithes were established before there was a little Levitical priesthood. And you should know that because clearly Cain and Abel were making offerings to Yahuwah before there was a Levitical priesthood. You had a Most High priest of the Most High God before there was a Levitical priesthood. So that's nothing but Israelite points of view, thinking that everything started on Sinai. Everything ain't started on Sinai, baby. You know what I'm talking about? And guess what? You think them spoils that Abraham took was just vegetables and grains? You're lying to yourself. Now, of course, we know how many times a year you're supposed to tithe? 3. That's it. And you know who's supposed to do the tithing? The men. It never said nothing about all the women got to show up. He say all males must appear and they can't come empty. See, that's what a lot of brothers don't want to tell you. Yahuwah, it's not that a woman didn't have to tithe. It wasn't required of her. You understand? You know why it wasn't required of her? Because 99.9% of the time, she would have been with her daddy or she would have been with her husband. She wouldn't be like how we live in now where you have a lot of single women. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how that society was at that time. You know what I'm talking about? But when you're going to read in your law, it's 3 times a year, and that was required of every man. And you know who else had a tithe that these niggas don't like to tell you? Who else had a tithe that these niggas don't like to tell you? You know? The Levites. The Levites had to pay tithes on what they got. But they don't like to tell you that either. That's what convinced me to share a 10th of my increase by seeing what Abraham. I heard that, my G. Yeah, a lot of brews don't like to tell you that. The Levites paid tithes too. Everybody had to pay. That don't want just, the Levites get all the stuff. No. These dudes don't like to tell you how I tell you that you can take your tithe of cattle or crops and turn it into money so you can keep it, and then you gave the money to the Levites. See, they won't tell you that because these niggas don't know the law like that. I'm not telling you this here for you to say, let me send this nigga some money. Oh, no, that's not what I'm telling you for. What do we read in John 7:49? There's people that don't know the what? Or what? If you don't know the law, you curse. This is what I'm telling you this for. You need to know what's in your law. Because people make erroneous statements and they be wrong. You know what I'm talking about? That's how that operates. That man told you don't muzzle the ox that tread out the corn. That man told you the laborer is worthy of his hire. And then you're going to turn around and say, all they brought these men was doggone bananas and apples and grapes? You out your rabbit man. You got grown men saying tithes wasn't nothing but fruits and vegetables when these people brought cattle. What you thought they did with the firstlings of the flock? What you think they did with them, Sid? And guess when you brought them? 3 times a year. It was only one other time you would tithe outside of them 3 times a year. You know what time it is? You know what time? I'm trying to see rapid fire. You know what time? There's only one other time. It don't come around yearly though. Jubilee. Jubilee. It don't come yearly though. You don't tithe week to week. Think about the system that they lived in. These were agricultural people and shepherds or farmers, if you would. What tithe you gonna have to bring week to week? Crops don't grow that fast. Animals don't grow that fast. When you pay attention to what those feasts were, you got Pentecost, right? I'm gonna work middle back. We're not gonna talk about atonement. That's a different type of feast. You know what I'm saying? That's for the atonement of sin. We're not gonna talk about trumpets. That's the remembering for the gathering of the people. We're gonna set that to the side. When you get to Pentecost, what does Pentecost literally mean? Or it means 50, but it's for feast of what? Feast of weeks or first fruits. What's coming up in first fruits? This is in the middle of the summer. So you're having a 1-day feast for the bringing in of crops in the middle of the summer. You know what I'm talking about? Right, the sheep. This is in the middle of the summer. Now you go to tabernacles, which is known as what else? And what are you doing at the end? Because this is in the beginning of the winter time. And now you're bringing in all your harvest for the crops to sustain you until the beginning of the new year. And then, of course, you're dealing with unleavened bread, which is during what, the beginning of the year. And now you're dealing with the first fruits of that particular harvest of your winter crop, if you would.
That's planting too.
Yeah.
Planting during the time of the
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why you tithe through. And look how he spaced them out. The first month, the third month, the 7th month. These are not back to back. You know what I'm talking about? Now, if you chose to give offerings, see, there's different offerings. We didn't talk about this before. I just want you to understand your law. You had burnt offerings, you had peace offerings, you had free will offerings, you had voluntary offerings, you had offerings. As much as we like to clown the Christian church, then people definitely had a building fund in this law. It's there. You know what I'm talking about? You have redemption, all these type of things. This is why I tell y'all, don't study the word to debate. Don't study the word to run it past other people. Study the word to learn the ways and operation of Yahuwah, so that when you see certain things in the Old to New Testament, you'll know what you're looking at and why they're doing it and where it comes from. That's why I've always told y'all that. You need to master the old before you even step in the new. Because once you build your foundation on the old, when you're reading the new, you will see that, like what we read last night, he told you the what? The end from the what? The beginning. So what you see from Matthew to Revelation, you're going to see from Genesis to Malachi that he already told you this. You're going to see how cold Paul is with that word while he's dropping script out his mouth without quoting it. Because you're going to know the word. So you're going to know, okay, that's why Paul said that. I know where he got that from. Never study to debate. Never study to try to win a soul. Study to save your soul first, and then whatever he used you for after that, let his will be done. When you come into it with you trying to do X, Y, Z versus delivering your soul first, you're going to fail miserably because you haven't even accomplished the first task, which is to deliver yourself. How you going to deliver somebody else and you still in your sin? That's not how that works, baby. That's right. That's right. Brother Norman Bray say amen. Brother Tay say amen. He seen the first thing that John saw with the other prophet seen. I ain't see what he said. I'm a Libertarian because I'm realizing a lot of my foundation was off. Some of that isn't. But I'm seeing well, praise you. Man, it's all good. He said the process you talking about, I would like to learn more about myself. Man, I already told you, but you just gotta call my phone, bro. I be telling you that. But I be just be wanting y'all to know certain stuff, man. Y'all in the room already know that. You only supposed to tithe 3 times a year. And every male is supposed to appear. And every male is not to come empty-handed. But see, them niggas not gonna tell you that. Them 3 feast days, unleavened bread, Pentecost, tabernacles, that's mandatory masculine appearance. That's mandatory masculine appearance. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even up for no debate. That was mandatory masculine appearance. Every man in Yasharal had to show his face in Jerusalem for them feast days. No questions asked, no excuses given. I do not care. Get your funky behind here. Now, of course, we live in a different time. Ezekiel 11 and 15. He said, I definitely need to study the law more to help. You know what? And I ain't gonna lie to you. And we done did this before, went through all the law. But because I know it's newer people been sliding through here. And I know that we got a lot of information on this channel. At the end of the day, all total, man, it's about 12 years of information over 3 different channels. You know what I'm saying? I know that is grossly impossible to ask somebody to go back and look at 12 years worth of information. So that's why we try to stir up pure minds by way of remembrance and stuff. And that allows, see, now I'm going to tell you, like 2014, 15, I wasn't with it. I was going to tell you, go look at that channel. It wasn't that many of them on there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that many of them on there. Because we couldn't double back. But now this is telling right, this is almost a decade ago. There's no way in the world I can tell somebody, go look at the channel and get back. That's impossible. Do you understand? 8, you talking about 177 times 8. If you go from 2015 to 2023, that's 177 times 8. That's not even reasonable to ask somebody to cycle through that. That's all. That's literally about 1,000. Put it in your calculator. Tell me what it is. I would do it in my mind. I don't feel like it.
1416.
That's 1460. Ain't no way I can ask somebody to do that. Ain't no way. That's not even counting 2014, 2013, or 2012. I can't ask nobody to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna look at 1,400 videos and be punch drunk. You got to process all that. How you ain't gonna sit there and be like, I'm gonna get through all 14 of them? Nigga, how? With three new packs coming every week. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to do that. That's why I tell some of y'all with certain stuff, if you want to know it, man, and you got just call my phone. Y'all niggas be hesitating and deliberating. That's on y'all. I can't do nothing but extend you the offer. If you don't take advantage of it, that's a personal problem. And I'm not saying that to be rude or disrespectful. Because every nigga, you take it. How many times I told you nigga call my phone? You think I'm telling you to call just because that sounds good? You know what Warren told me yesterday? He said, well, I must be on the VIP list. You answer my call first ring. I would say, literally, that's everybody. Unless my phone in my pocket and I can't get that whole out. I had to tell Rico that yesterday. I said, if I'm working in Clubhouse playing in the background and you text me, I might not hear that text. Because that text tone don't go off. You know what I'm saying? When Clubhouse, if you call me, I'm going to pull my phone out and see you call me. You know what I'm talking about? And I'll tell you this here. If you call me and for some reason I didn't answer, you need to send me, nigga, this me. I need to say, I'm going to call back. I'm talking about brothers who may not call me at night and their name ain't in the phone. But Brother Marcus' name in the phone. So he just got the call. I'm going to do this here for you, Tate. And for anybody else for that matter. Shoot. Mika had a question with something I told her. She said, when I call, I said, shoot, call me after 5. I should be done working then. She'll take it. And I picked right on up, too. I don't be like, get 3-4 rings and look at it and be like, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna talk to this nigga. Hell, at least the nigga used to call me. I ain't want to talk to that nigga, and I still talk to that nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna be like that. He said numbers that say, is that a command we have to keep? No, but I'll run that down for you in a second, my G. I got you on that. Well, we don't wear none. I don't know about nobody else. I ain't putting no friends on. Me personally. You can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need no friends. I got the Ruach. Hey, shoot. Now, see, that's the only difference. Quran said, I text you one time. He say, at 5 a.m. for getting you 5 hours behind. He text me when he getting up. I'm like, shoot, I ain't see that done till the next morning. I was asleep. You know what I'm talking about? I responded to him, though. That's why. There's another reason why you text me why I respond fast. Because if I don't, I might forget, depending on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't the type of nigga that's like, I'm finna ignore a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me text this nigga back, because if I don't, I'm gonna forget. You know what I'm saying? He know what we be out here doing. Them nigga be clown. I might forget for real. Or if I'm in the gym locked in, I'm definitely gonna forget. Because I don't like to stop. In the gym, nigga, I don't want to talk to. Man, don't talk to me, nigga. I'll talk to you with my phone in my hand. I'm talking about niggas in the gym. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't be on the sidelines scrolling through my phone or nothing. I go from one exercise to the next, and to the next. I ain't got time to stop, damn it. There's muscle to be built in here. You niggas want to squawk and talk. That's why you're bad about it, nigga. Nah, I just say that because the dude I know has been going to Bailey's for 12 years. That nigga look the same. That nigga ain't got bigger, he ain't got smaller, he ain't got cut, he ain't got nothing. He just the same. I say, damn, you just been throwing $20 away for a decade. That nigga don't even be doing that, man. That nigga be on the phone. Man, we was in that, man. That nigga was literally watching the intro to the Cat Williams special here in Jacksonville. I say, man, we gonna get off that goddamn pullover machine and get out of the way. He be in there talking with niggas about the Steelers and John. He ain't lifted now weight. I said, boy, that man crazy. But listen, man, Hebrews 7:5.
You want the Ezekiel 11:15?
Oh, yeah, run that for me.
Say, son of man, your brethren, the men of your kindred, and all the house of Yasharal holy, they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, get you far from Yahuwah, unto us is this land given in possession. Therefore say, thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, although I have cast them afar off among the heathen, although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them a little sanctuary.
He said, though I've done what?
Though I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
See, that's how you look at them feast days now, because of course you can't come up. Remember, he said, destroy this house and I'll do what? Now that he's the sanctuary, because somebody say you can't keep the feast but in Jerusalem, because you think the feast is about the place versus him. Because the feast ain't never been about the place, it's been by him. But more so, what is a sanctuary? It's a place of rest. I've given you a place where you can worship me, because he already know I'm finna dispense y'all. I'm finna get rid of y'all. I'm finna ship y'all out. But see, the worship of Yahuwah was never contingent on a location. That's why he told that woman in John 4. She said, our father said, in this mountain we worship Alahym. He said, baby, the time come where you won't work. Get it for me. I ain't saying it right. John 4:20. But I will say this here because I seen the brother say this the other day. Niggas have made these feast days a spectacle. It's a money driver force and it's a recruiting tool. You know what I'm talking about? Especially it's Passover time, and you're gonna see everybody. Well, if you got a lot of bruise on your pay, you're gonna see niggas gonna have their fires garments on. You remember that one year they were like, they auctioning off the women. Well, they wasn't really auctioning off the women. What they were doing was having a meet and greet. But it looked like they was auctioning off women, but they was having a meet and greet. I don't know what y'all do. I mean, when you look at Christian churches, they do the same thing. You got singles ministries and all that other stuff. Nigga, they trying to get y'all married. They said they tired of your behind coming in here talking about I need a husband. No, they just brought the women up there and had them introduce themselves, especially when you're dealing with this was IUIC that did it. So especially when you're dealing with an organization that big and they bringing people from different states and they like, we got some single women, let them come up here and introduce themselves and they can get with one of these brothers. Would I do that personally? No. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't got nothing to do with how people do their organization. I wouldn't do that personally. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, what I would do is, who are the men that are valuable to you in your life, and let them deal with that for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do, personally. Not put no woman on the stage. And that's why, notice I said, in your life. It's not my job to find you no husband. You know what I'm saying? I can give you counsel on finding you a husband, but it's not my job. That's your daddy. If your daddy's still alive, that's your daddy job. I don't care if he in the word or not. You know what I'm talking about? That's your daddy job. Matter of fact, I ain't that much older than some of y'all to even be playing. I'm not your goddamn daddy. I'm for real. It'd be different if I was 60, 70 years old then. You know what I'm talking about? I'm for real now. Because then you could literally look at it like, you old enough to be my daughter. Then I can roll with that. I'm not that old. I am old enough to be some people that, because I told a young lady that. She would like to say, I say, girl, don't you realize that when you were born, I graduated high school, that I got peers who got kids your age? You know what I'm saying? I can deal with that. I ain't your daddy though. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't your daddy though. I can't go that far. You know what I'm saying? I can't go that far. I'm not your father. He say auctioning women is crazy work. He say who need to be together will be together. My dad passed away. So now don't get me wrong. She said I'm not close with my brother's dad. Don't get me wrong, because you know I'll talk to you. See, it's why it's a nigga mad with me right now. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga mad with me because he messing with a chick and she come ask me should she marry the nigga and he got mad because I told her no. What you thought I was supposed to lie? It's other people. Some of y'all in here, I told you, man, you better not do that right now. I didn't say never marry the nigga. I didn't say not deal with the nigga. You asked me, should we get married right now? I gave you my honest opinion. No, and I told you why. Not just, no, don't get married because I don't like that nigga. That's not what I told you. I said, man, and the nigga told me, girl, you told her not to marry me. I said, you goddamn right I did. But you thought I was gonna lie? You know what this nigga said to me? You supposed to be my friend, my nigga. I'm not finna set no woman up and tell her to marry a nigga who live in a rooming house, who ain't got a car and can't take care of her. Why would I do that? I wouldn't tell my daughter to do that. I wouldn't tell my sister to do that. So why would I tell her to do that? Why would I tell you to do that? I'm not gonna tell you to do that. Now, if you don't ask me, I'm not going to solicit my opinion. You know what I'm talking about? See, I don't move like that. I'm like, Callie, you can hear what I got to say. You didn't ask, so clearly you don't want my opinion. So shoot, I don't give a damn. I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't care enough to force my opinion on somebody they didn't ask for. But if you ask me for it, I'm gonna tell you the truth, as I see it. And you can do what you want to with it. And guess what I ain't gonna do, Sid? If it go bad, guess what I ain't gonna do? I told you so. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm gonna tell you? That shit done sell, baby. This is what we're gonna have to do to deal with it. That's it. We here now. Talking about I told you so ain't gonna do nothing about it. We here now. We gotta figure out what we gotta play the cards we got. Yeah, I ain't want, you know, some people be ready for that. I told you not to marry that boy. I told you not to marry that girl. I'm not gonna do you like that. That don't do nobody no good. You know what I'm talking about? Huh? Yeah, that's all we were just walking through. Yeah, ain't no sense of doing that. Because you know what's gonna end up happening? You're gonna get defensive. You're not gonna want to hear what a nigga gotta say after that. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't make any sense. Some people may view you like a father figure. Oh, I know. I mean, I get all that, but I'm saying I'm not gonna come to you like I'm your dad. Because I'm not that much. I'm older than y'all, but I ain't that much older than y'all. Nigga, number one, I'm not old. I graduated in 1998. You know what I'm saying? I'm 43 years old. I mean, you would be. But you weren't born in 96. So you're 26 years old. You're 27 years old. Oh, I thought you were younger than that.
That's more of a daughter.
Well, I mean, technically, she is old enough. If I would have had the baby as a junior, you know what I'm saying? And now, you know what I'm saying? Because I was in 11th grade in 1996. No, I didn't say that shit, nigga. You ain't that much older than me. Not yet, brother. I'm not at the 5 to round up. I'm still under 5. Hey, Sister Tradina, how you doing?
I must say you're showing your age. Looking,
I wasn't around here listening to R. Kelly. That what Glory would do. Being grown. Running around the house talking about scenes like you're ready. What he talking about, mama? Cut it off. Huh? I ain't understand nothing.
you're not speaking English, brother.
No, I ain't understand. I don't know. Said my dad passed at 71. My mom is 61 now, but dad had 2 kids before he met my mom. My oldest brother is probably my age. Jay say you 5-6 years younger than my mom.
That's what I
That's what I said. I mean, y'all niggas act like at the end of the day, nigga, Muffin just turned 33. I'm 10 years older than her. So that means I'm not 10 years older than most of y'all. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Bump all you niggas. That nigga say we old. Yeah, you niggas ain't in your 20s no more, nigga. I bet you have to crank your knees up when you get out of bed. Ooh, nigga, I can roll over and get up. Hell, you mean? I got up this morning though, boy. I caught a cramp in the inner thigh, like right here. Oh no, I lost a lot of fluid yesterday, boy. I had to cut 4 yards, boy, and I cut them out before. That's how you know you can lose something. You lost a lot of fluid. Well, I was sweating out that hole, boy. It was hot outside yesterday, boy. You can say what you want to say, boy. And I drank a lot of water yesterday, boy. It was hot out that hole. It was hot out that hole, boy. Shoot, we'll know, boy. I don't care what you talking about, boy. You outside cutting some grass, boy. You finna do some sweating. Call it sweating, though. That's flu. Hey, that's why nigga be cramping up. Thankfully, I had already worked out before I did that jump. But I had caught a doggone cramp right in the teardrop. In my quad, boy. That's a different cramp. Mika say she blamed the army for all her aches and pains. She say she'll be 30 in August. You who are willing. You talking about, oh, so y'all niggas ain't hit that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Johnny come in here with a 30-year-old shirt on. That nigga come in here every time with his shirt buttoned to the top. Well, your neck want to breathe, my nigga. I'm gonna mess with you, boy, because you stayed to the house for the Monster Jam, playing hooky and whatnot. That's how I have it. I'm just waiting for you to hit me with the line so I know you're lying. Shoot. Come on, let's finish this up.
Gonna blame it on Noah.
He gonna blame it on Noah. Boy, that nigga always blame it on my godson, boy. You dirty for that, boy. Damn. You work early, man, with kids. So you just got here lying. That nigga grape seed it up. I got kids so I can lie on them. He said he used Noah as his ark for safety. Telling them stories, man. That boy, that crazy, man. Come on with it, man.
John 4:20.
Come on, John 4:20.
It say our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahweh said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour come. You shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Abba. You worship, you know not what. We know what we worship.
For salvation
is of the Yahudim. But the hour coming now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Abba in Ruach and in truth.
That's right.
And the Abba seeks such to worship him. Alahym or Ruach, and they that worship must worship in Ruach and in truth.
She said the army wasn't a joke, Brother Marvin. That will get you. Oh, I already know. Hey, where you going? Okay. All right, let's come back to Hebrews 7, man. We get out of here. Verse 5, right? And truly they that are the sons of Levi who received the office of priesthood have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law that is of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes of Abraham and blessed him that had the promises. Notice what he told you. He whose descent who don't come from them, he got tithes. What are we talking about? And without all contradiction, the less is blessed of the better. Listen to what he said. With no contradiction, the less is blessed of the better. What that sound like to you? You know what that sound like? That the priesthood of Melchizedek is greater than the priesthood of Aaron. He said the less is blessed of the better. Let's continue. And here men that die receive tithes, but there he of whom it is witnessed that he lived. And I say, and as I may so say, Levi also who received tithes paid tithes in Abraham. Y'all remember how that works when he said they pay tithes in Abraham? Well, he about to tell you. for he was yet in the loins of his father when Melchizedek met him. But Levi, that's Jacob's son. It don't make no difference, nigga. Where did Jacob come from? From Isaac. Where did Isaac come from? From Abraham. So they all paid tithes to Abraham when he did it. If therefore perfection were by the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people received the law, what further need that another priest should rise after the order of Melchizedek and not be called after the order of Aaron? Now, of course, you know the order of Aaron is established in the book of Numbers. But you see how it worked, that the order of Melchizedek would have been priests who were what? Firstborn sons. Or at least that's how it would have went with Aaron, firstborn sons. See, there's a reason for that. For the priesthood being changed, there made a necessity of a change also of the law. For he of whom these things are spoken pertain to another tribe, of which no man gave attendance at the altar, for evident that our Lord sprang out of Yehudah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. Ain't that what we just seen? That it said David's sons were chief rulers or Cohen. Nobody can make the mistake that Cohen don't mean nothing other than the priest. Is that safe to say? I'm going to run down all them definitions for the people in the back. When you're dealing with Cohen, that is Kav, Hay, and Noon. Priest, principal officer or chief ruler. Priest king, Melchizedek, Messiah, pagan priest, priest of Yahuwah, Levitical priest, Zadok priest, Aaronic priest, the high priest. A chief ruler, priest, prince, principal officer. A priest by courtesy. So with that being said, what tribe David come from? And his sons are what? Chief rulers? Read Revelation 14:4 one more time.
So these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which followed the Lamb wheresoever he go. These were redeemed from among men, the first fruits on the Alahym answered the Lamb.
First fruits of Alahym, right? Revelation 20:1 on the house.
And I saw Malachim come down from Shamahim, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the serpent, that old serpent, which is the devil, Hashatan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up. Set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more.
No more.
Till 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
Till it's
After
over.
that, he must be loosed a little season.
Little while.
And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them. Judgment was given unto them, and the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, for the word of Alahym, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received mark upon their foreheads or on their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
This is the what?
First resurrection.
What else?
Baruch and Kadash, he that had part in the first resurrection. On such the second death had no power. They shall be priests of Alahym and of Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
If they priests and what else with Mashiach?
They shall be priests of Alahym and of Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
If you reign with somebody, what that make you? That make you a king. Do you see how he just told them how they would be kings and priests who part of that first resurrection? Why wouldn't they be kings and priests if that's what their initial law said, did it not? So the intent was always to bring forth the order of Melchizedek, was it not? So let's take a look at something else as it pertains to first fruits. Let's look at something in Exodus 23, if you would. I know I mentioned that during the Exodus 22, and we're going to come back and look at it. Uh, 23 and 14.
3 times you shall keep a feast unto me in the year. You shall keep the feast of unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded you. In the time appointed of the month of Abib, for in it you come out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty.
And the furry feast
of the harvest, of the first fruits of your labors.
Pause. He's called, you said the first fruit of your what?
Of your labors.
Tell him what first fruits of your labors is, that man.
First fruits is Bakor. That's first fruits.
That's what we're talking about, right? And labor should be Asa or something of that sort.
Ma'asa, that's deed or work.
So the excellency of your work. Notice what he said at the feast. Read it again, verse 16 from the top.
In the feast of harvest, the first fruits of your labor, which you have sown in the field, in the beginning of ingathering, and the end of the year, when you have gathered in your labors out of the field.
Paul, tell him what ingathering means.
That's all. See, ingathering, harvest, a gathering in of crops.
A gathering in of who?
Of crops.
Now, I want y'all to look at verse 16. What come to your mind? What parable come to your mind?
13.
Matthew 13. And let's take a look at it. Matthew 13 and what? 30? Let me see if 30 is a good enough starting spot. Oh, no, Matthew 13 and 30, not a good start spot. I want 36. Matthew 13 and 36.
Then sent Yahushua to the multitude away and into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field.
Mm-hmm.
He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man.
Notice he said the feast of the harvest, the first fruits of your labors. So who is the first fruits of his labors? It's the first fruits of those who receive his ruach. You know what I'm saying? But anybody on, those are the first fruits of his labors. Remember, he said, dwell on Jerusalem until I endue you with power from on high. You know what I'm saying? Remember how, hold on, I'm going to read this Romans 8. So right here in Romans 8 and 18, I suppose. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time, not worthy with the esteem which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature wait for the manifestation of the sons of Alahym. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the esteemed freedom of the sons of Alahym. For we know that the whole creation groan and travail in pain together until now. And not only, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Ruach, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, the redemption of our body, which is the ingathering part. Remember, he gives the Ruach on what day? On first fruits. Those were the first. You got to remember, right? He said, I have finished the what? Work you gave me to do. I finished the work. You notice that man didn't slide until he was able to give this man the first fruits of his labor. Those men at that particular time are literally the first fruits of his labors, which he sown in the what? In the field. And he say the field is the what? He gonna tell you. Matthew 13, 36.
Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and the disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the sons of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. The reapers are the Malachim.
The harvest is what?
The end of the world.
That's what ingathering meant, didn't it? What does Malachi 3 say that every Christian pastor like to use? Get Malachi 3 and 8 and read it out loud. Y'all know it. We done talk about it.
Is that 3 and 5?
3 and 8.
So will a man rob Alahym? Yet you have robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee?
And what?
Tithes and offerings.
Go ahead.
So you are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring you all the tithes into the storehouse.
Into the storehouse.
That there may be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith, saith you who oppose. If I will not open you the windows of Shamahim and pour you out a blessing, there shall not be room enough to receive it.
Guess what? You the tithes he gonna bring in the storehouse. You the tithes he gonna bring in the storehouse. In this instance, come on back to Matthew 13. Tommy, what's good, bro?
Verse 40. Say, as therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his Malachim. They shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Do you notice that he said at the end of the year or the end of the world when you have gathered out your labors out of the field? That's what he's telling you right then. Because my man's had went live yesterday. I guess it's a big deal about some eclipse that's going to happen next month. I'm not too hip to that. You know what I'm saying? But you know how people's be, oh, the end of the world coming, this, that, and the third. Now, he was discussing something that I know a lot of people discuss, that we don't know when the Lord coming back. But praise be to Yahuwah, we know a little better than that. We don't know the day. We don't know the hour, but we know the time frame. You know what I'm talking about? We know the time frame. Because this man going to fulfill this book. And that man going to come gather everybody up during Tabernacles. Why wouldn't he gather up everybody up during Tabernacles? If he's already fulfilled Passover by being the Passover lamb, if he's already fulfilled Pentecost by sending down the Ruach on the first fruits of his labors, you would have to be utterly insane to not believe that he wouldn't fulfill Tabernacles. You know why? Because he'd have to fulfill that very verse 14, what we just read. 3 times a year was all males appear. He appeared for 2. He got 1 more to show. And just on the screen, let's go look at Luke. Luke 12. You know what I'm saying? That sounds about right, don't it? Okay. I thought I might have been high son. Then somebody go say, I told you that nigga was smoking weed. I smoked it with your mama. You know what I'm saying? She loves to smoke. 12 and 41. She loves to smoke. She like to smoke weed. She like to smoke sausage. That's why you here. Yeet. Yeet.
Then Peter said unto him, Lord, speak you this parable unto us, or even to all? And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give portion of meat in due season? Baruch that servant, whom his Lord, when he comes, shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him rule over all that he has. If that servant say in his heart, my Lord delay is coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink and to be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looked not forward, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers.
He said he gonna catch you when you ain't ready, and you going to hell.
And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripe shall be beaten with few.
You see how that go back to what we were looking at Ezra? Some will get banishment, some will get confiscation of goods, some get death, some get imprisonment. Yeah, that's what that is. Go ahead, sir.
For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more.
I got you a little bit further down than what we needed. Back up to verse 31. Let that go. Hold on. He say, man, I seen some brothers state on Facebook, Yahusha has nothing to do with the Passover lamb. I saw that, and that's unfortunate. But you know, well, now his point is that we diminished what the first Passover by focusing on the Lord. And I can't speak for other people. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Just how we roll. Just because Passover come around don't mean we're gonna be in Exodus 12. And just because Passover rolling around don't mean we're going to be talking about Matthew 26 and him being the Passover sacrifice, because we do that year round. So truth be told, we're going to deal with whatever it is that we're dealing with at that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to knock nobody, because you know some people do Passover-centric things when Passover come around. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. We've done that before. But we passed the point of doing that. Unless it's just a strong influx of people who don't know what that is. Then, of course, you know, because we done did that before. We'll go back and we'll look at it. But if it's not a strong influx of people who don't know what that is and what that's related to, then we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I understand. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to focus about what else coming up out of Egypt. You'd have to go on Jesus for true freedom for it. But one of the first things we dealt with is that us coming out of Egypt is symbolic of this man delivering you from the bondage of sin. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard. Like my man said, this is our Independence Day. But you weren't independent on that day. You were independent from the bondage of Egypt, but you weren't independent from the bondage of the flesh when you came from up out of there, because you were still trying to be in Egypt even though you were gone. So though physically you may have been independent, spiritually you were still in bondage. See, you can be free and still be in prison. And we were just talking about it earlier. The recidivist rate is 80%. So you got men who get out of jail, and though they out of prison, mentally they're still there. So it's not an aspect of are they going back to prison? It's when. Because mentally that's where they're at. So even though your forefathers came out of Egypt, mentally they were still there. Because they couldn't deal with the freedom. This is why the text say, you know, where the Ruach of the Lord is, there is freedom. But if the Son shall set you free, you shall be free indeed. Because when you become a new creature and you become dead to sin to live under Alahym, your focus is you not looking back. This is why most people, when they come in the word, they ain't actually been made free, because though they think I've been baptized and I found out I was an Israelite, this, that, and the third, your mind's still in the prison of sin. You still there. Which is why niggas falter. You know what I'm saying? That's what people don't understand. It's the mind. Yeah, you was free out of Egypt, but you still wanted to be in bondage. We had cucumbers, leeks, and melons. You remember what Yahushua son of Nun had to tell them people? All that stuff you did on the other side of the flood, leave that over there. Leave that over there. That's what I told y'all. When I went to prison, man, I ain't do nothing in prison that I ain't do on the street. And you know why? Because I never wanted myself to be comfortable or mentally acclimated to dwelling in that location. Dude told me, when you get out of here, you going to do this here. I said, nigga, you lying to me. I said, you know why? Because I never made this my home. I never got caught up with the routine. I literally, now I was thinking about it right now as I said, I literally view prison the same way that Hebrews 11 say, we just strangers and pilgrims on the earth. I'm just passing through, baby. This is not my home, so my mind never got locked in on this location. You know what I'm saying? The United States of America or any country on earth is not my home. Get that for me, man. Hebrews 11:13. He said, yeah, y'all showed me that just by me meditating on the word at work, and then it clicked in my brain like, wow, we come out of the world, then we're immersed like we went through the sea. Then we're enduring in the wilderness of the nations, trying to make it to the promised land. Well, praise you, boy. I can dig it. Hebrews 11:13.
These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of and embraced, and confessed they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
What else?
For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country.
See, when you in jail and you was like, I'm just passing through, you declaring plainly, it's something for me on the other side of this fence. You know what I'm saying? I can see whatever it is that I'm conjuring up in my mind that I'm going to do when I get on the other side of this fence. That's where my mind is at. A lot of niggas go back and forth to jail because they mind still in jail. And I ain't talking about the stuff we like to clown like, oh, he got a boy and all that other type of stuff. They mind still in there. Let me tell you something, man. You got to have a strong mind to not get institutionalized. And getting institutionalized is just not being an inmate. You can get institutionalized in the army. You can get institutionalized being a CO. You can get institutionalized working in corporate America. Because what this means is you get caught in a framework of a system, and your mind will continually work according to that system, and you will not desire anything outside of the four walls. You know what I'm saying? And anything that comes to try to, people get institutionalized in the church. People get institutionalized being a brood. Like, it's not just jail, meaning that if you got a chance to get out of it, eventually you're just going to go back. You know why you're going to go back? It's the safety of comfortability. I'm comfortable with this. You know what I'm saying? So,
most of the CEOs where we at usually, like, if they don't continue doing that, they usually die by the time they reach retirement age. Or they got to keep working.
Yeah, they got to keep. Your mind ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Your mind don't be right. You got to have a certain, look at me, just being an inmate, period, just on that aspect. You got to have a certain type of mind to not get institutionalized. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see brothers, why he doing stuff like that there. That boy mind's still in prison. He just looking to do something to go back. He can't deal with it. He can't deal with being free. He said that was back in 2019. Say, so glad y'all didn't let me be in the army for 20 years. I had imagined. He showed me real quick it wasn't a perfect will for me to stay in. No, I could dig that. I'm telling you, man, you get institution. Look here, right? The prison system is literally mirrored after the army. At least in Florida, all the way. They have you marching in formation inside a yellow line like you at basic training. Everybody got on the same outfit. You know what I'm talking about? They got you dwelling in a barracks. Just like in the army, they make you do count time and all this other type of stuff that they be doing. Got a foot locker, everything. Everything is mirrored after that. Because it's for the purpose of uniformity and the purpose of losing the identity of self and merging into something as one. Which in that aspect, depending on what you're doing, ain't really nothing wrong with that. But in that environment, it's pretty terrible. You know what I'm saying? That's not what you want. But go ahead. He said you a stranger in a what?
Pilgrim on earth.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It said, for they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country, and truly, if they had been mindful of that from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better. That is of Shamahim, wherefore Alahym is not ashamed to be called their Alahym, for he had prepared for them a city.
That's right.
By faith, Abraham.
That's good. You have to realize, right? Don't get me wrong, right? All the way around the board. I get it. Our people are subjugated, oppressed, suppressed, completely underserved. You don't have control of any means of goods and services throughout the United States of America. I'm not even going to talk about any other country, just the country that we live in. I get it. We be like, where are our banks, where are our hospitals, what is that there in the third? Well, nigga, once you go to thinking like that, guess what you just thought? Guess what you just said out loud? This is my home. That's what you just said. Because guess, I'm being dead serious, right? When you have hospitals, when you have banks, when you have grocery stores, when you have railroads, guess what you just created? An infrastructure. What do you create an infrastructure for? For the purpose of dwelling long term. You understand? Do you notice when Abraham was dwelling, he never sought to build an infrastructure amongst any of them people? He didn't want no foothold amongst none of them people. Isaac didn't want no foothold amongst none of them people. Man, Joseph was so serious, he say, man, don't you leave my bones in this goddamn place, man. You take me to the house. And that man had never seen the land of Canaan. Now, Alexa, now you pause for a moment and you think about that, how serious that is. Did Joseph ever dwell in the land of Canaan? If he did, he dwelt as a stranger. And that man was in Egypt, and he say, man, when I die, don't you leave my bones here, man. Because I'm a stranger and a pilgrim. That means that's telling you the whole time he was in Egypt, though he was second to Pharaoh and had rule over the whole land, he never saw it as his home. He never saw it as his home. Daniel was what? Second, third in command to Nebuchadnezzar? Never saw it as his home. He didn't care about the power and authority that he had in that place. I don't give a damn. This is not my home. When you get caught up that you want all this type of stuff, you see this place as your home. And I ain't mad at you, my G, if you want to do anything for your people. But I promise to you, sure as doo-doo stink and the sky blue. Man, damn this place. This not my home. I don't give a damn if we don't never build nothing. I just want to get the hell from up out of here at the time of point. I promise you that. I do not care. And I've been told y'all that. I don't want to live in another country. I don't want to live nowhere where Yahuwah is not in rule. I don't want to go to Africa and be subjected to the same sin with a different group of people. Just because they skin look like mine, that nigga still wicked as hell. And what I mean by that meaning is the system is not a system that's set up and operated according to the mandates of the righteousness of the word of Yahuwah. What I want to live that for? The word of Yahuwah is not reigning from that governmental place. Yahuwah is not being esteemed in no country on the earth. You can't find me a single solitary government in the earth that is esteeming and ruling by the righteousness, kadashness, mishpat of the living Alahym, Yahuwah of hosts. You can't find me one. So why the hell would I want to be there? You know what I'm talking about? I'm speaking for me. I ain't telling y'all to think nothing. I'm speaking for me. Now, my thought process comes from what I see in the word, but I just need to let this be known. I'm speaking for me. I don't want to be there. I don't want to live in a single solitary country in Africa. Not one. I don't give a damn if they black. Black niggas wicked too. You know what I'm talking about? If Yahuwah is not in the place, I don't want. If I already live in a place where Yahuwah ain't at, why would I want to go to another one? Because it's less sin. I'm still agitated. It still vexes my soul. See, just because I don't walk around here screaming and hollering about how, man, nigga, I hate all this junk. Everywhere. It's faggots everywhere. It's adulterers everywhere. It's fornicators everywhere, of the physical and the spiritual type. It's liars, murderers, and thieves. Strife-filled, contentious men, malicious and spiteful people. Unbelievers of all types. I only want to dwell where the saints at. I only want to dwell where Yahuwah at. And if he ain't there, I don't want to be there. Not to live. I'll be like, oh, these sinners are a little better than. That's like saying, which one should you vote for? Joe Biden or Donald Trump? It's still a bad choice. I don't want to live my life. It's a little less sinful here. Come on, man. Come on, man. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. Then a lot of these boys want to be in power. Man, ain't nobody. How you gonna be in power? You who ain't put you there. You niggas wicked too. When you would say you want to rule over something and you who ain't put you there, I don't trust you either. Because a lot of these boys, man, want to be, hey, man, they want to sling, cling penis out here. You know what I'm talking about? They want to dominate the people out here. You better watch them. Luke 12 and 31, you better watch these niggas, man.
But rather seek you the kingdom of Alahym, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Let me get y'all out of here.
Say, fear not, little flock, for it is Yahweh's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that you have.
Fear not. It's your father's good pleasure to give you what?
The kingdom.
Okay, talk that then.
Sell that you have. Give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in Shamahim that fail not, where no thief approach, neither moth corrupt. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
That's right. Where your treasure is, your heart will be what?
Also.
He told you how your treasure's where?
In Shamahim.
And that's where your mind ought to be. But our mind ain't in heaven, our mind on the earth, and that's why you getting earthly things, which means that's why you getting nothing. Come on.
Say, let your loins be girded about, your lights burning.
Burning.
And you yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he come.
This is what I really wanted from the Jump Street. Come on.
They may open unto him immediately. Baruch those servants whom the Lord, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch or in the third watch, and
he'll notice he said, but blessed are my servants. You know, the first watch is what? Passover. He came on the first watch. Blessed are all them servants who observe. Then he said on the second watch. You know, the second watch was Pentecost. Blessed are all those men who observe. Notice he only meant first, second, third watch. Third watch, tabernacle. This your time. See, you couldn't be part of the first and second watch because you wasn't alive. But you could be a part of the third one, though. Listen to him.
And if he shall come in the second watch or come in the third watch and find so, Baruch are those servants. And this know that if the good men of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not have suffered his house to be broken through.
He would have what? Watched. Listen.
Be you therefore ready also for the
Be
Son
what?
of Man. Be you therefore
See, that's
ready
a lot of
also.
nigga problem is they don't, nigga, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I told a nigga this the other day when we were working, man. I was messing with, man. Them dog. I was messing with. He was like, you don't want to debate me. You don't want any problem. I told y'all about this the other day, right? And sometimes I be joking, but in that moment I would dance serious. And I was like, my nigga, I love you, boy. I promise I do. But you don't want it with me. You don't want the problem, bro. And I ain't got to get ready for nothing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need no notes. I ain't got to study. I don't need no advance notice. You know what I'm talking about? By the grace of Yahushua, boy, I keep a pack with me. You know what I'm talking about? I don't never run out of dope, my nigga. I ain't got to go to the house and cook it up real quick. Nigga, I serve it to you wet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. That meaning, man, you done whip it up in the jar and you ain't even let it dry. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I know about that. I know. I done did it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you take it out the pot. You supposed to drop it on the paper towel. You know what I'm talking about? Let him dry. I ain't got time to let him dry. I'm cutting him up now. This nigga's at the door. They got to go, baby. It was sold before it even came out the pot. You understand me? Yeah, man. I'm talking about we busting them down, nigga. I got 50 slabs and dubs, nigga. I don't sell no circles around here. We busting them up. I remember I caught some working picket one time. That nigga was like this here. He was like, oh, you know, he was clowning. He was like, oh, what you doing? Because I was cutting them up with my thumb. I said, they don't need no razor, nigga. Pop, 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 pop. That nigga said, "Oh, you serious with it, huh?" He thought that we were from the beach. You know what I'm saying? Hustling. He thought the nigga was something else. I said, "Bro, I just stay down there. I ain't from there." You know what I'm saying? But I say, "But niggas down there solid now." You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't goofy like you think they is. But I'm like, nigga, I got money to make, bro. You know, sometimes niggas look at you, they think they gonna judge you where you hustling at. They gonna think, "Oh, that nigga, that lame." No, I sell crack for real. I do. You know what I'm saying? I do. This ain't for fun to be cool. Nigga, this how I pay my bills. You know what I'm talking about? So it's the same thing with the word. But this how I pay my bills in heaven. Boy. I keep my work cooked. You understand me? I'm talking about I got plenty. Pure, unadulterated spiritual cocaine, my nigga. It's ready for you too. And I don't drop nothing but 28 in the 4. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, like I tell them, you pick the book, chapter, and verse, make it light on yourself. I ain't got to pick nothing. You find you somebody to play with, goddammit. You know what I'm talking about? Because I ain't the one. And sometimes you need to let people know that. Find you somebody to play with yourself, nigga. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not no debater. I'm a preacher. And I'm going to smash you across your head with this word, and you're going to know you're going to go to hell. You don't get your soul right when I walk away. That's what you're going to know. You ain't going to be like, "Oh, that was a mean debate." You're going to know, boy, your soul ain't right. You're going to hell. Straight like that. You got time to play with you. Shoot, I ain't playing with my own soul. So I definitely ain't playing with you. And that's what people's problem is. You're playing out here. You've been playing all your life. Playing with dolls, playing with wrestling men, playing with video games, playing with your genitals, playing with basketballs and football. You know what I'm talking about? Stop playing all the goddamn time and be a man. Come on,
man, like you.
Say, "Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man come at an hour when you think not."
And he gonna cut your head off. Come on.
Then Peter said unto him, "Lord, speak of this parable."
That's good. Read verse 16 of Exodus 23. We get on out of here, man.
"In the feast of harvest, the first fruits of your labor, which you have sown in the field, the feast of ingathering, and the end of the year, when you have gathered in your labors out of the field,
3 times.
in the year all your males shall appear before Yahuwah Alahym. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning.
The first fruits
Of the first of your land shall you bring into the house of Yahuwah Alahym. You shall not see the kid in his mother's womb."
And see, if you come over here to 29 and 22 of Exodus, he said, "You shall not delay the first ripe of your fruits and of your liquors. The firstborn of your sons shall you give unto me." That's what he said. And guess what? If the 144,000 are the first redeemed out of the earth, then guess what they is? The firstborn sons that he giveth unto him, which is what you see with the first resurrection. He got to get them to his father, because that's who they belong to. See, remember, right? It said the priest had the time too. Well, you think Yahushua is any different? He got to give his tithe too. And this is how we know if the 144,000 are men and women. Because the law tells us. And like I told you, the key indicator in that is they're the first fruits. That was your key indicator. If you follow the first fruits, then you can follow exactly what it is. Because you never offer the first fruits of your daughter or the first fruits of any female animal. You never do that. Where you ever seen that at? You read that before? I ain't never read it. If somebody read that before, I can stand corrected. But I ain't never seen it. Hallelujah for Yahushua in the word, man. I appreciate y'all time this afternoon and bless y'all out the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua. Yahuwah willing, man, we'll be back at it on Wednesday. Yeah, Friday, man, we probably start at 8:15, man. I see how the doggone sunset thing roll, man. What's up, boy? How we work this on back? You ain't want to do that to your brother, okay? You ain't fool. What's up, little Bible study?
What's up?
My man. So yeah, y'all willing, man. Yes, sir. So y'all willing, man. We'll be back at it on Wednesday, man. Make it do what it do. Remember, man, April 1st to April 9th is our observation of unleavened bread. $225 a family, $150 for singles, man. Remember, we'll be streaming every day. So yeah, man, y'all willing on Shabbat, man. We'll start at 8:15. And then we'll play it by ear from that point forward. So you stay safe. I love you too, bro. So yeah, y'all willing, man, we'll be back at it on Wednesday. And until that time, that's your yeah.